the raid, Saint.
There it is. All right, all right, all right. Let's get this going. Increase it. Rutabaga. What? Rutabaga? That's a dope new one. I like that. All right. AB shall be joining us a little bit later. He's in a last wish, and I'm not sure where he's at in that raid, so that might be a minute. I told him to hop in. I'll have to pull him up. Um, guess I will explain what the hell's going on here for people who are normally coming for the stream to hang out or whatever. Today I want to do something a little bit different. We're gonna talk some Destiny, man. Titan, a couple of Warlocks, get their views on things or whatever. What you say? Get rutabaga. Whatever. What up, half bro? How you? We're gonna talk Destiny, get some takes. You know what I mean, I was a little spicy yesterday on my takes about the raids or whatever, but I would love to hear the gentleman that I brought on for this for today. You know, I'm gonna introduce him now. You know, up and coming, real hardcore gamer, hardcore warlock, does everything, all content of Destiny. He's been in trials like crazy lately. Ain't no raid or GM he ain't jumped in. Man of a thousand tasks, the busy man apparently. I present to you a random shadow.
Hi,
Welcome, brother. So, right off the bat, before
thank
I get
you.
into anything else, where'd your name come from?
Um, just I got Shadow. It was one of my dad's dog's names that I just liked,
Hmm.
and then on Twitch, obviously Shadow was taken because it's really general, and so I came up with a random in front of it, and just also by happenstance it just worked because I didn't mean to pick a random. I had random Shadow, and then that was taken, and it's like, well, I'll just put an A in front of it, and it just worked out anyway because a random Shadow. I'm like, oh hey, that works extra. All right, cool. Fuck, let's go with it. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. Well, tell the people about yourself, man. I was curious about the name, but tell people about yourself and promote your channel.
Uh, thanks. I'm just a 23-year-old trying to stream a lot of Destiny and other variety video games, like Back for Blood and Escape from Tarkov, stuff like that. Just a streamer, longtime Destiny player since Destiny 2 first launched on Battle.net. Been trying to dive deep into it as far as I can go, as far as the game will let me, but that's always been up and down. But yeah, just trying to make content that other people can enjoy and share and just celebrate the game and share it with other people, and because it's an MMO, and so it's fun to treat it like that as an FPS, especially, and how Destiny's currently growing, it's making that even easier and more enjoyable, and so it's nicer to share that with people and kind of get all that out there, which is what I'm hoping to do.
Got you, got you. Hey, you're doing great work out there. You're doing God's work, if you will, because these Destiny streets are very toxic. But it's good to see other people out there making it happen, man. So the third member of this conversation will be AB, a bit of support. Uh, Another warlock. He a raid guy. He's a real big raid guy, but these guys are very big into theory crafting and making these massive builds and doing all this cool stuff or whatever. And of course, AB's not here at the moment, so I can't allow him to give his own conversation piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the topics, and hopefully, AB can get in here before it's all over and give his take on things. So without a shadow of a doubt, let's go right into the topics, yo. First question: should Bungie end Destiny 2 and make a Destiny universe? And of course, charge a small monthly subscription fee for it? What's your thoughts on that, brother?
um For the subscription thing, I feel like, at least in how I buy and play Destiny, I feel like it already has a subscription. I've always just bought the deluxe each year, and so it's always been about 80-ish, consistently 70 to 80, and it
Mm-hmm.
gets you everything for the year, and a bunch of extra little cosmetics that people may or may not care about. But I've seen that as a subscription, so it's not a monthly, it's like a year subscription, or the
Oh,
option
already
to buy as you
long
go,
gone.
which is what they originally, I think, kind of went with after Forsaken, which I'm fine with. If they went with a monthly subscription, I don't know how that would feel because seasons aren't that long, and so that might frustrate a lot of people. But I think if they saw it as more like a year,
Mm-hmm.
that might work. But also the Bungie's had a little bit of a rough time showing all this content as part of like Beyond Light.
Yeah.
That's why some of it's getting taken away later, and some of it's not. It's because that's seasonal content that's getting taken away. That's why Presage and Harbinger are leaving.
Hmm.
Because that's technically seasonal content, not Beyond Light.
Right.
So
Right. Excuse me. Um, as far as the subscription, I'm for it, and I'm for it only in the sense that we're already paying a subscription, so to speak. We're just paying lump sums, and I think for the casual community, if you could bring the price down and make it palatable in a monthly price, it would sedate people a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Because like currently, people are complaining about having to pay what is it extra for a dungeon when in reality these things are already a part of the package. We just don't realize it because we're paying in lump sums. So
yeah,
if they broke it down in like smaller bite-sized packages and were very transparent on what you're paying for, I think it'd be
or
easier. Hmm? Go ahead.
we'll define smaller because I think they've done smaller like with this year, but they've gone so small people can't put piece them together. Like how each this year each season's activity is still worth something to run. You still get tier threes and focused engrams to drop from hunts, battlegrounds, and expunges, all and overrides like first run, second run, third run each week on top of the recasters. And so the past seasonal content are still really good ways to level up and just grind out materials, but this is the only year they've actually been worth anything after the season they were left in the game. And so people aren't viewing them in that way, and so they're not using it, and they're like, all right, there's nothing to do in the game. Well, yeah, because like part of the doing things now is currency, which are these past legacy artifacts now over the year, which then will get removed through the year and right.
Hmm.
But they're at
I
least useful for something now.
agreed. I mean, I think a part of the issue with the community we have now, everything's microwave generation right now when it comes to content absorption. Or because I say that because nothing they do as a community, as Bungie could do, could give us enough content to satiate the audiences. Because I mean, we're burning through content, bro. Like literally, the Halloween event started a week ago. There were guys who were done day one, and I'm not mad at them at all. I'm actually quite like, wow, but I choose to play it this way, which is fine. So, having that option for him to blow through it and be done with it is fine. I think for the casual, excuse me, it bothers them because they get to see the in-game reward and say, "Oh, it's not worth it. I'm not doing that." So I don't know, and there's no way to tell like a guy like if, especially yeah, let's say for instance say you were you're a content creator, you're making videos and so forth. I don't want to. I don't think it's right to say, "Hey, you shouldn't blow through it to show people what it's worth." You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure other people do it. Because I mean, you know how if people burn through or even did all of this Halloween festival and realized the Sparrow's not that great, that's well, in my opinion, the Sparrow's not that great, and the the auto rifle and the pulse are marginally weaker than what's already out there. Would they do it? Oh, appreciate that sub. I appreciate the Saints in the building. What's that? Hello, cat. They kind of already are. Instead of a monthly, it's basically a quarterly sub. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying with that. Um, that's why I would ask the question about if we ended Destiny 2 right now, just hypothetically, if we ended it right now and we left behind all of Destiny 2's exotics, armor, and everything and started from scratch or whatever, I don't. I want to believe, and this is just my belief because I'm crazy. I want to believe it would give them a chance now with having all this data on all these past weapons to be able to give that balanced sandbox that they wanted to give. Well, semi-balanced sandbox or for weapons. You know, get rid of your damaging perks. No more rampage. No more one. I mean, even though I love one for all, but no more one for all. No more damage perks on guns, and let the guns stand on the niche perks that are used now. And you would see you know, a bigger absorption of people using better and random perks. Because like right now, the everyone's still, without saying it, they're still clamoring for damage perks. And I mean, like the
And that's just MMOs though. For
mhm,
like the damage perks at least.
mhm,
That's like to some extent, like you will always do that in MMOs. That's why the abilities, them expanding that, in my opinion, is the nice part with the Light 3.0. Is because you'll be able to tech into more complicated abilities, like with stasis, which gives you more build opportunities. Like
crazy.
people are largely complaining about Shatter right now, but there's other really good builds with stasis, like with Warlock that I've run, that are just as broken, but
Yeah,
people don't use them as frequently, and so they don't get the attention or whatever.
right,
But because Stasis has the customization and the modular ability that the other classes do not, um, it makes it more interesting and it builds on that playability.
right,
But without needing to necessarily reset the entire game, and that gives you something to chase outside of damage perks because perks like Wellspring and
mhm,
Surplus, when they first came out, they were absolutely hot garbage. I think they came out in Season of the Hunt.
yeah,
Wellspring wasn't touched until I think last season.
right,
Splicer was the first time people really started touching it, and it's because they started branching out into more natural ability builds because they kind of got a few more people got off the high horse of Destiny's only gunplay, gunplay only, only gunplay, Destiny 2, right? That
right,
mindset. And so now they're like, okay, we can start doing a little bit more of this, like, throwing stasis everywhere, freezing stuff, having map control, right?
right,
Um, Without necessarily resetting it to a D2 launch setting.
right. Well, I mean, it's no doubt in my mind, Stasis came in hot. It was overpowered. I give it that. Whatever. I don't think because of the nature of the game, you're ever going to have a balanced PvP. So there's going to be a complaint about something at all times. Shadow Dot is a pain. It is, but it has a tail, and you can tell it's coming.
Yeah. And it's semi easy to dodge. It's got some radius issues, but like Bungie even said they're tweaking it in December. And so like which yeah, it needed some small tweaking, but you're still probably gonna get one shot by it in PvP after December, which is fine. Because I can run at you and kill all three of you with a handheld just as easily, or a Titan's shoulder charge with or without Dune Marchers, and so right? Or with Antaeus with Titans, you can reflect all the stasis stuff, and you can reflect the tornado on Hunter. But you don't see anyone doing that, even though it like you can just freely reflect tornadoes back at you get a free super for running Antaeus wards essentially, right? And you remove an enemy super, but no one runs that because they just hate stasis. Like, oh, I'm just out. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah. No,
like,
you said a mouthful right there, bro. I really believe, and this is going to be a hot take from me. I think the game is as balanced as it's ever been right now. There's a counter for just about everything, but they're no longer the easy counters that you know that oh we'll just put this exotic on and it automatically counters that. No, you actually have to build for it now. Like I said,
yeah,
the hunter who runs around and does stasis the entire time. Yo, listen, Titans, you want to bait him, bro? Throw an ice wall up and put a barrier shield behind it. When he goes to slam, he
yeah.
walks through the shield. He's one shot. Come on, people. It's not.
Or when they throw their ice down, back up, throw a Wither Horde or any grenade on top of that ice.
Yes.
99% of the time, whether there's anything on it, the hunters will dive onto it thinking it's their teammates' tech support and they'll just die. I've killed so many hunters with a free Wither Horde or grenade just sitting there like, okay, yeah, here, hold this grenade real fast with that
Right.
ice.
And this is and yeah, and that's just a testament of how you know people aren't theory crafting. You know, it's the meta of complain till it's gone, and then when it's gone, they crush the we'll crush the next thing. You know, because like I mean the graviton forfeit gives the hunters 11 seconds on bottom tree, 11 seconds of invisibility. No one's talking about that because everyone's using Shatter Dive. Like there's so
Yeah,
many broken things in Destiny right now, but you know, people seem to
and you
gravitate
get
ease.
damage resistance, yeah, yeah, with the invisibility, exactly.
Yeah, people tend to gravitate towards easy, and I mean, I guess you know, if you're a casual PvP player, that's not bad. But I just feel like the complaints are over the top, man. You know, I just want to get rid of this because I remember the time back when Destiny 2 was first launched, all you heard was Titans shouldn't be able to shoulder charge and one shot kill you. That's BS. And it's like, dude, to shoulder charge you, I have to run in a straight line at you. And you see me coming before I get there. This
Yeah,
it's counterable.
Yeah, and most of the time you don't recharge your health unless you're teching into that specifically with either an exotic or a build, and so it's like it's gonna even itself out.
Right.
So yeah, and that's reasonable. It just is what it is. It's no different from getting shot in the face 100 yards away from a sniper as soon as you peek. Like it happens. You
Yeah.
just move on.
That's the thing. I think now, as far as separating the two sandboxes, I don't know. I would love to see them be able to make adjustments in PvP. I won't say nerfs because I don't like nerfs, but make adjustments in PvP and have them not screw with PvE. Because let me see,
Yeah.
the Warlocks took a huge L when Stasis first got touched, and then the Titans took it
Yeah.
afterwards.
Oh, poor Warlock Melee,
Oh,
my baby. Oh, that it's sitting right next to Runa's effigy up on the Bungie has killed it forever, and I have a scar in my heart now shelf. um, 'Cause yeah, and I'm hoping they don't do that to Aegers, but I feel like I'm
oh,
dusting it off for a
it's
third
coming.
place.
It's coming.
Yeah, yeah, it's coming. Um, but
I just,
yeah,
I mean, like I said, I think you and AB and a few other people have shown me that through theory crafting, I mean, a lot of things are capable in this game, and I think people are playing this game as is. I've heard guys tell me there's no point in statting out for PvP or PvE, and I've learned from me. I mean, just being able to put a reload mod on gives you an edge in PvP and definitely in PvE when it comes to dealing with tons of ads. I want to say now, I do believe you can counter anything. I mean, like, now there's some outliers still, like this Doom Archers. If a Titan gets a running start and hits something, that charge is ridiculous.
yeah, the range and through walls. Yeah, like you said, there's some outliers, and some of that I feel like is gonna get fixed with Light 3.0 because an outlier is all of the light subclasses versus stasis, right? And
Right.
so,
So how do you feel
like,
about
that's
this?
just gonna.
Stompies is gonna get touched. Stompies, Doom Archers, and I'm not sure which Warlock exotic that's used for mobility, so to speak. I'm wondering if they want to slow the game back down, and if so, how do you touch exotics? The whole function is just mobility, speed, sprint speed. So how do you touch those without making them useless?
I mean, I think they're fine if they lower all of the speed, um, like across the board, just lower the general floor for the speed and the ceiling,
Mhm.
and then like it's still the same percentage base. So transversive essentially works the exact same, still gives whatever, like 20% more speed. I don't exactly know the percentage on Warlock, but you're instead of running at like 2.2, you're running 1.2 of the normal speed, right? That point 0.2 is the transversive, the 2 before was your normal, now it's the 1 is your normal, the point 0.2 is transversive. So transversive didn't get nerfed. Speed overall got nerfed. But
Gotcha.
then I don't know if that would work because like in PvP, the issue is also like FOV and map size. You can on PC at least, you can lower your FOV all the way down. You move at a snail's pace,
Hmm.
or at least it looks like you do. I don't know how it looks from a third person
Hmm. Well,
perspective, but it looks like you're moving at a snail's pace, but you're just moving naturally because of the FOV. But most maps wouldn't work like that if you moved at a snail's pace because they're so like uh, the size. It's so weirdly designed based on the lanes and how far you can peek them based on old weapon archetypes and damage types when they first were made because they were designed around that depending on when the maps were made, especially early D2 maps. And so, like with PvP, it just gets really bogged down by, all right, how much of this can we actually do reasonably for these maps? Because, like Cauldron, if you ran it at half the speed, it would be garbage. Even with the doors, that map would be so bad just because a lot of the outside lanes are meant for you to cross them in a half instant versus, or half a second versus like 3 or 4 seconds of you floating from that bridge down to the door. Um, or the like half broken bridge down to the door instead of like instantly getting there and just flying there with the door opening right away, right? And
mhm.
so I like if they did that, I feel like the larger gameplay would be fine, but I don't know if the maps they currently have would like hold that, which is maybe why they don't do it because that's a ton. Like it took them all that work to get what we have now for Beyond Light.
Okay,
They'd
hold
have
on.
to do that all again.
Hold on, let me. Half made a comment. He had a question. He said, with the addition of stasis armor and mods, it costs too much, in my opinion, to test different builds. Oh, yeah, now that I agree with.
Yeah,
I think,
some of it's.
It's ridiculous. The
Yeah.
resetting of, if you want to reset your artifact as well, I think the answer, I realize what they're trying to do. They don't really want you to be able to stack the heaviest mods, but they've already got the checks and balance in place, so you really don't need another safeguard in cost. You should be able to slot for free.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, or reset for free. Or like have this you should have more than 12 available because yeah, like you said, they have the energy counts now that already kind of balance them out. Because
Yeah.
last season with Splicer, my Warlock, I had it glitched for about 6 weeks in the beginning with 13 selected
Ooh.
mods because I forgot how, but there was a issue and then they nerfed something with it or changed it, and so I had an extra mod slot available at the end because I had already maxed it out before they had fixed it. And so I was running 13, but it was still balanced because the extra mods I was picking or would want were all in the same class items, or they were all in the same armor slot in the class item. And so because of that, and then with their armor cost, they weren't able to be run together. And
Hmm.
so even though I had it glitched out at 13, it had no gameplay advantage or even like no PvP or PvE advantage. Even if I had gone for like the lower reload or like ready and stow mods, like what are those gonna do? One and two, um, those like I don't know, those are so random. I just feel like they're not worthless, but they're essentially worthless. And so anything that was worthwhile, you couldn't stack. And so yeah, like you said, it just balances itself out.
Yeah.
So they could unlock them all.
Which is why it's, have Russ said reset armor for free and get rid of elements to make crafting easier. I think those things are only in there because they still want us to farm for armor every season. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I made the mistake with the hunter and deleted everything, deleted the hunter, bro, I literally was using armor from season of what? What was the one before the hunt? I haven't had a reason to change armor in quite some time. Like that,
Yeah.
there was really no reason. Once you get your sets of armor and your bills down, there's no reason to keep farming for armor, and that's on Bungie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, the energy part of it is for the builds, because like only certain mods can be slotted into certain energy types, and so that's why you want like one of each type of Arc, Void, and Solar masterworked on each character
mhm,
for each armor type, for all the builds you can do. But yeah, like yeah, it could be better, but it's also not as bad. Like I don't think they should necessarily remove that. And like because again, it's an MMO, there needs to be some cost with it because there needs to be some effort put into it. Because when
mhm,
Destiny 2 was first out, you could do a lot of the stuff for free or easily, and no one cared about it, and it had no meaning and purpose, and then the game slowly tapered off. And so like it's not as bad as it could be. Should it be expanded? Yes,
mhm,
but is it like they should just be adding more mods? And maybe they'll do that yearly. We'll see with Witch Queen, but like the Ashes to Assets mod is a solar 3 cost gains bonus super energy on grenade kills. It's been here for I think a year now. It's gonna stay forever. It's only a solar 3 cost. Can only be used on solar helmets, I think. And like that the reason it can give you super energy on grenade kills and like a decent amount, it's a good chunk of super is because it's limited. That stuff would be essentially worthless if they got rid of the energy because then it would be on every armor piece. They'd have to work that into how arc works
mhm,
or everything else on top of that, how void grenades work, right? They don't have, well, like they kind of do here, but they wouldn't have to do that with all the extra damage archetypes on top of it. And
mhm,
it requires more effort from the player to put into that as well, which isn't a bad thing necessarily,
mhm.
because you're getting something good out of it.
I agree. I agree. To the point of the further the point of the Destiny 2 being ended, I think at this point we have rode this old Halo engine hard and put her up dry. Because like at this point, there's so many limitations. Like the the perk diversity could be probably multiplied by two if we didn't have such limitations. I agree with you. I think maybe elements could stay because I'm looking at it. There are some diversity there. There's some perk, and also it's reasons to grind for certain elements. I'm seeing that here or whatever. So you really can expand your armor out if you have different builds. I myself have been old school. I get my 2 to 3 bills and I stick to them. And
Yep.
I
Mhm.
think I represent the average gamer with maybe one bill more. They have two bills, a PVE bill and a PvP bill, and that's it. And once they get it, they stop. And by doing so, you lose out on a lot. I mean, I'm a punching titan, and hands-on is actually an artifact mod for one slot, one energy this season. Punching gives you bonus super on melee kills. Come on, how can you miss that?
Yeah.
I, I would say for people to invest in some of these things, but I wonder if we had a new engine and Destiny 2 was ended, could they implement everything they want to implement? Because it's clear they're working towards something. Hey, support's here. Hold on. Let me get you in here. I'm in, by the way. All right, so if I don't get rutabaga, hey, AB, you here? Outstanding. All right. Yo, I was stalling long as possible, bro. How bad was the raid? Okay. Okay. So you missed the first question, so I'm gonna run the question to you and let you go ahead and speak on it. Should Bungie end Destiny 2 and make Destiny Universe charge a small monthly subscription fee for it? What's your thoughts? Go ahead.
that work into Destiny 3, as it were, which potentially could have upsides like maybe more upgrades to the engine, maybe using a new engine altogether. There's ups and downs here, but I think the correct play is to absolutely do what they're doing, which is upgrade the current engine as they can, because that's what they are
Mhm.
doing. It's what they've been doing since the end of Shadowkeep and since the beginning of Beyond Light. And as far as a subscription fee, if let's look at the subscription costs of other games that are somewhat like Destiny. Let's look at Final Fantasy 14, which is, and let's look at WoW. Those are the arguments that people have brought to me. So both of those games, if you play them every month of the year, are almost twice as expensive as Destiny 2 is to play, and that's including DLC purchases. That's including the 30th anniversary pack for this year. That's the $100 for that, and that's including season passes and everything. Destiny 2, their current pack, like if you buy the pack for the year, is $100. If you buy everything separately, it's probably going to be about 120, 130 ish. WoW and 14, if like correct me if I'm mistaken, but I think WoW is 15 a month, and I think 14 is 10 a month. 14 is 15 a month if you do the slightly better option, which is what most people pick. So if you do the 15 a month on both of those games, you're looking at about $180 a year. Destiny is 100. It's 120, 130 on the more expensive end, and obviously this is not including either games doing microtransactions.
Right.
You'd potentially be getting either similar or maybe slightly better content with Destiny 2 if you did a subscription model because they're making more money.
That's not
But at
guaranteed
the
though.
same time, yeah, but that's not guaranteed, and at that point you're paying almost double.
Right.
And considering that
Yeah.
most of the arguments right now are price based, why do you want to go subscription?
Exactly. It's already a subscription. It's already an amazing deal for a ton of content, and it gives you the option to buy as you go. Like you again, if you buy the deluxe, yeah, you're already locked into everything, but you don't have to. Oh, I don't get the dungeons.
Well,
Okay.
right.
Like, are you grinding prophecy every week on reset for the powerfuls? Like, that's the only reason I would see to do it. Like, farming the weapons, it's
The
worth it. It's a great dungeon. I love it, but like, I wouldn't necessarily. like hate on them because they want to like keep the business going, or like to make dungeons every year to give them, because they said we're going to, maybe not with the year with Witch Queen, we're getting a dungeon every year or every season
Mm-hmm.
going forward after Witch Queen. And so that's like, this allows them to do that. That allows you to farm prophecy all the time and have 8 dungeons to run a different like cycle through to do all the different rewards, because that's what people want. But like they need to be able to also do that. And it's like if it's 10-20 bucks a person every year, it's like, okay, who cares? It's a really good deal.
Right.
You run yeah.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
to be honest with you, AB sold me. He sold me. I did not know the prices of WoW and other subscription-based content, and if you can't get the prices below those on a monthly basis, then you're right. There's no point. There's no point in even looking in that direction. And then again, there's no guarantee that even doing that will give you the content, the better content, or so forth that people are clamoring for. And more importantly, how much of this content are people playing? Because I hear a lot of complaints about, well, this planet's going. When was the last time you've done this activity, bro? You know, like having stuff.
I
Yeah. I think
I think it stems from people people the there's a most people think that when they buy something they own it, right?
Right.
So they feel like that when Bungie removes a piece of the game that they bought, that's ripping something from them. It doesn't matter how little they've played it. It doesn't matter anything. It's a sense of ownership, and Bungie's all of a sudden taking it away. And I think that the main argument for subscription is that since you're on a subscription,
Mhm.
all of a sudden you don't own anything. You're just playing to play the game.
Right.
So you don't at that point you don't own anything. Bungie can't take anything away from you, and that
Right.
I could see that, but unless you're looking at your finances and your experience on a game from a purely emotional standpoint, then that is the completely objectively wrong way to be looking at it.
Well, of course they're looking from an emotional thing. Come on, have you seen Reddit?
yeah.
Yo, there's no logic there. Hold on. Hafro says dungeon every other season. I thought, though, only said 2 more coming next year. So here's where I sit with the dungeons thing, man. Before I move on and answer the question, I
It,
don't have a problem with the dungeons being optional content.
Yeah.
A good portion of you guys aren't going to play dungeons. I don't. I think the
Yeah,
old.
or they're gonna do it, they're gonna get the cool loot, and then they're gonna peace out. It's like, that's a $10 experience.
Yes,
That's what they do in the season. That's fine.
yes,
Like,
yes.
fucking Fortnite's charging how much for battle passes and all their
Right,
stuff in there, and you have
right.
to put in how many hours over like a month?
This
It's like,
this is a dead issue for me. Like, what? Y'all are mad? Are you serious? For what?
right? Like,
I'm
it's so cheap. Go try CS:GO. You want a skin? You want a knife? All right, $100 minimum. Shittiest knife in the game.
Jesus Christ.
$100. Battle worn.
I, I
Like, next
I don't
tier,
know.
$200. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm one of those idiots who does play old content, but even I don't go to certain planets too often. And by old I love Shattered Throne. I think it's the best dungeon Bungie's ever made because it was the first. It has the atmosphere. It doesn't have the rewards per se, but you know what? I'm good with it being vaulted at some point. I've had my fun. It doesn't need to stay forever for what? So,
it the longer
I
that
mean,
Bungie keeps content in the game, the longer they have to the longer that they have to either update or make new loot for it. That is a lot of loot if you keep all of the old content.
and
That
hence
is a
yeah.
lot.
and that's where you're
I
queuing all the Destiny 1 weapons. It's killing. That's why we don't get new stuff. We're wanting to hold on to crap. So, for dev reasons, dev time, it's easier to bring a Destiny 1 weapon over than make a new one to maintain something that needs to go away.
Well, at the same time, they're doing is they're preserving their art value and stuff.
Hmm.
So like all their designs in D1, they can port over to D2. They can make it a new loot drop. It'll be exciting again for people to get it again. It'll have uh, nostalgia tied to it. And at the same time, Bungie doesn't have to just go, hey, we used this one time, now it's garbage.
Right. And more
yeah.
importantly, for the gamers, bro, this is a looter shooter grind fest game. when you guys go into a thing and take the first gun and never come back in, then you complain, oh well, I want this to go here because I want to do this. You're never going back there, and you know it.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't have a problem initially with a lot of the planets leaving initially because I was like, okay, well, they need to go. Now I was upset about the strikes because I felt like it took a good portion of the strikes.
Uh,
Yeah.
I
It
agree.
Now,
really.
like I think that's just a larger problem of they don't have things distributed in a very good way. Like the dungeons, how you were saying, removing them and putting new content would be overbearing in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
They can do that, but if they rotated a bunch of different playlists through like Legends, so you can play all the D1 raids, but
Ooh,
there's like like Vault of Glass is say it was seasonal instead of yearly. This
right.
season is Vault of Glass. Maybe next season would be King's Fall. But alongside that, dungeons rotated. So right next to Vault of Glass would be another giant circle, Pit of Heresy, or maybe like three of them since dungeons are smaller. Pit, Shattered, and Prophecy. And they stick for a year. And then a year goes by those three in that one little Legends easy to access in an instant from the directory playlist. They change to another three from either Destiny 2 or I guess if you want to do like weird Destiny 1 dungeons with like Crota's End, bringing them back or reworking them a little, whatever. But they can do those rotating playlists, how they're doing now with like strikes. They just have to actually put them all into a playlist that rotates,
Right,
which they
There,
haven't done. Everything's so splintered.
right. I mean, but think about it. What if you had a dungeon play? That would be. I like that idea, bro. That's
Because
growing on
then you
me.
don't need to make new loot. The loot just rotates with the dungeons, like what they're doing with the raids, like with the Vogue and the Time Lost weapons. Yeah, you're losing Time Lost weapons, but we're kind of assuming here with Witch Queen, you're going to get Time Lost version editions of the raid they're bringing back, which we're also kind of assuming is King's Fall. So you're going to have King's Fall Time Lost weapons
Right.
from King's Fall next season,
Mhm.
but you won't be able to have Vault of Glass Time Lost weapons. That's the trade off. And I
Right.
think that's fine because if they're looking at this game for 15, 20 years out, which I think they are, but they can't say for legal and marketing reasons,
Mhm.
um, like that's fine because Vault of Glass will come back in like 6 years or 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know what their rotation for raids will be, but it'll come back in a reasonably long amount of time.
Mhm.
It's just to people they don't like that long.
so so about
So
your
Go
thing
ahead.
on the rotation. So Bungie has already said that they're looking at starting in Witch Queen, having rotating raids on a weekly basis
Oh,
for the pinnacle activity of the week.
that's genius. That's genius.
So that
that
is
might be
already a thing coming.
Okay, well then that.
If that's gonna be a thing, I'm not sure that they could like I if once they get enough raids in, they could potentially remove one, redo some stuff with it, and bring it back in the future. But I don't like right now. I think what would immediately have to go is Last Wish. Last Wish has no weapons worth getting. None.
kind of. I mean, the hand cannon is
Hold on,
nice.
hold on. That was.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a
whoa.
minute. Wait a minute.
The
Wait a minute.
hand
Wait.
cannon is nice. Thousand Voices is the best pew pew gun
Thousand
vooping
Thousand
fusion in the
Voices is
game right
the
now.
only exception because it's the raid
Seasonal
exotic
mod.
and the seasonal mod this season,
Mhm.
and usually it's pretty good on its own too. But the hand cannon is while it is an energy variant, it's 100% outclassed by Fatebringer. It is almost outclassed by the Garden of Salvation hand cannon. If you just look at pure stats, the
Uh-huh.
It
only thing
is.
that it has going for it is it has better PvP perks right now, and that is it.
It's essentially the same as Ignition Code though right now, which is top tier, which is why I think it's okay. Because it's very close to Ignition Code or Igneous Hammer. Man, I
Oh, I
can't
could say
speak.
what?
Igneous Hammer. Yeah,
But
it's
Igneous Hammer is a better hand cannon,
Yes.
yes, but only
and
ever
it's
so
easier
slightly. But that's the thing; it rotates. You can't
easier to
always
hit.
get an Igneous.
Yes, you
You
can.
can't
Well, right now you can,
right
because
now.
yeah.
You just claim Trials Ingrams, and you can randomly get one out of it, and then you can start focusing it.
Well, see,
Well, yeah,
this.
right now. Next year you can't. Can you get a
Ooh.
what are the shotguns from last year that I'm running or
The
the
Astral
other guns?
Horizon.
Yeah,
I
can you get
highly
Astrals right
doubt
now?
they're
Can you
removing
get
Igneous.
other one?
With how popular Igneous is, I highly doubt they remove it from the pool. The reason that they removed Summoner and the other weapons is because they were hardly used, and the only ones that weren't were the shotgun. And as soon as they removed Quick Draw on it, nobody used it.
which is
I
yeah.
disagree. I think no one used them because the Trials playlist was a really worse place a year
Hey,
ago than it
look,
was now. Because like I
Even though,
have an
hold
Astral,
on. Last wish
even the
goes
really,
people that
away.
had it,
but
Hold on. What did you say? Last wish goes away. Then they fix ribbon, so you can't cheese it.
they would. They should. I mean, they should remove the feet thing.
At this
You can
point,
cheese it by shooting its orb, but
uh,
like
at this point, Last Wish is the largest raid in the game. So, for space reasons, if the new raid is coming with the Witch Queen is huge, yeah, I could see it being chopped.
I don't think they will, but
they
I
said
think
it's
if they
staying.
I think if they ever do cut a raid, I think that's the first one that has to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
at that
think it
point,
is the. Yeah,
yeah, it'd be the oldest, wouldn't it? At that point, because I
Yep,
mean, yeah,
by far.
yeah.
it's interesting. So question: how do you guys feel about the older raids being brought, Destiny One raids being brought in? Do you want to see Vogue go when King's Fall comes in?
Nope.
So you want to keep them both?
I never.
I don't even think King's Fall will have time loss weapons. I think they'll do something new with Adept Loot.
Will we? Well, wait. I take that back. Will we be able to make? We'll be crafting weapons next season. So
I think it might be a little both. Because like they
Um,
did that kind of this time with both. They gave them
yeah,
double perks and adept mods,
I
which is
I
like the season's thing.
I think the crafting is going to be limited to the stuff that comes out in Witch Queen at first.
hmm
I'm not sure how they're going to expand it beyond that, but they did say it would be the stuff you can get in the campaign. They said it'd be the new weapon type. It said the new raid stuff. I don't know if that's going to apply to the older raid coming back. I don't know if that's going to apply to new dungeon stuff.
They may make it where they update the Witch Queen raid to like current VOG levels, and then it's like you have the time lost quote unquote weapons from the Witch Queen raid and maybe the King's Fall time lost, and so
Afro says King's
because the
Fall forever.
Deepstone weapons aren't time lost. Imagine if Deepstone weapons had the adept and time loss system that VOG currently has, because it only first started with well, like for raid with VOG, and so if Deepstone had that, that would probably help, or at least like I don't know, make
I I
help
think so.
Deepstone stay relevant.
I agree. Deepstone has some of the Deepstone has a pretty amazing shotgun, a really
Yes.
good sniper. The
hmm
hand
Uh-huh.
cannon is solid for PvE, and it's not terrible for PvP. I use it in that. Like what other weapons we got in there? We got
What's the scout rifle? The
sword is
Trusty,
not
oh, it's so good.
the sword had potential if they would have let the curated roll drop, but rip.
what
And
the,
Yep,
that was Killing Wind Assassin's Blade. So get a kill, go zoom.
yep. It was gonna be a Zoom sword. It was gonna be a fun hunter one because it looks so cool.
But nope, curated roll can't drop. So Rip Sword, the LMG is one of the better ones in the game, but I think the VOG one outclasses it. So
But
we'll see.
again, like if it rotates yearly, like other people won't have that. That's I think maybe that's what the casual point will be. Okay, you want to be a casual? All right, you're gonna have to relearn kind of all this stuff each time you come back to the game because you're a casual. Like I think that's fine.
uh,
Because the stuff is still there. They can't get a Fatebringer time loss, but they can get something pretty close to an equivalent or like another really good adept weapon that's equally as fun and cool.
I think the issue with FOMO, what these things are, we're not promoting that the base version of Fatebringer or Fate or these guns are as good, and in some cases, almost equal to their adept counterparts. Because a lot of guys do say that. Well, if it's, well, you can't take that right away because I can't get an adept weapon or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well,
Y-
you're
Yeah,
not gonna.
the only thing that an adept has is like +3 to each stat, which is almost nothing.
And the
So you,
And
mods, it's
yeah,
like
and the
the
adept
mods,
mods.
the mods are different. That's a different thing. But if you could open that mod selection up, because
What a, what adept mods have you guys used so far? But the only ones I've used
hands.
that big ones, that
are
was it.
big. Yeah, I was gonna say I've used adept big ones. I've used like adept mag is terrible. I
Yes,
think. I think adept counterbalance is also terrible. I think the ones
Yeah,
that are just stats. I think the only ones anyone is ever going to use are going to be reload, stability, and range.
I
And
think.
I think they're only going to use that in PvP.
Hold on, I think the one
yeah.
the PvP guys are using is Icarus. That Icarus one,
Adept
Oh yeah,
Icarus.
yeah, that's the one that they
yeah.
love.
Yeah, adept range will never get used because of adept Icarus because it has +5 range on it. So
No, I mean, personally, I love only in okay, PvE, yeah, it's just adept big ones normally. I'm gonna run Icarus more in PvE once I get it, but that's for personal Warlock flying reasons. Otherwise, yeah, it's largely stability, range, reload, or sometimes mag. I don't mind mag, but like, yeah, I don't like if I
I
had an adept Igneous, I'd run mag, but like that's about it because it's
that's
so low to begin with. But
I don't like
I
I don't like any perk that takes something away from me to use it. And I mean, if it's going to be an adept,
yeah,
I want an addition. I don't want a subtraction to
does
get that.
that include the Iron Banner perks?
Oh, the Iron. Listen, I don't like the Iron Banner perks at all. I've been advocate for saying what the
really.
hell. Yes,
Hmm.
I don't want any perk that, like, okay, so you're gonna take range from me or reload speed or stability from me to give me more range. And depending on the weapon, it can be useful. But I'm just,
But
I
like
would.
that's also the point of the or not recycling, but the like rotating loot is like yeah, there's few weapons that benefit right now from the reload or the mag other than or yeah, the mag one other than like Igneous. But next year, I don't know because I didn't do any D1. I don't know what's in King's Fall. Maybe there's an SMG with like 14, 15, 20 rounds, but it absolutely shreds, right? Maybe this would put it up to 25, 30. You're getting 2, 3Ks in trials, you're dominating everything or
But
something similar, right? They
Pepper
could do
says,
that with a strike weapon 1 year for
I,
one season. Who knows?
I
But
can't get it. Half says I can't get a depth mods to drop for me. It's a sad day, and I doubt time loss will be anywhere but fog. Really? If they
Yeah,
lock.
time lost would probably only be Vogue, yeah.
the name Time Lost
Oh
is,
yeah, yeah. Never mind. He has a
yeah.
point.
Mods are really easy to farm though. You just wait for the easiest GM and then you complete it over and over again and they drop after your first completion. Every completion drops a
The,
mod after your first.
yeah, the only ones that don't drop are Icarus and
Big
is that
ones.
I think
Big
we.
no?
ones you get after completing base Conqueror.
No, I got big ones from
Yeah,
just doing GMs.
yeah. We got it. We
Oh,
got.
did they change it? Oh,
Yeah, we got. I got
okay.
that one the first 2 seasons ago. The ones from Trials, I think it's Icarus and something else. It's
It,
what
yeah,
does
it's
charge
just
time drop from?
Charge time drop
GMs.
GMs now. Yeah,
Oh,
they updated that.
What they do for the trials mods is they leave them in trials for a season and then they rotate them into the GMs. Or at the very end of a season, they'll rotate into the
Well,
GMs. So
they
Icarus will be here at the very
they
end.
wow,
they rotated the stat ones. I don't think they're gonna do Icarus. I think that'll stay in trials.
wow.
Maybe.
I
Well, I think it'll switch over no later than Witch Queen, but we'll see.
indeed, indeed. All right. Well, I think we covered that to death. I just want to make sure I'm there. AB got some words on this here. Um, let's go with the next topic. The rise of the solo player in Destiny 2. I'm gonna let Shadow start this one off. I'm gonna go last because I got a lot on it. But go ahead.
All right. Well, solo play has always been kind of lackluster, I'd argue, in Destiny up until at least Forsaken. Then it's been slowly creeping up and getting better, but I think that's just part of it's the casual versus hardcore argument, but also Bungie's underlying one of their underlying philosophies of uh like working as a team because you see in all their marketing one of the things they repeat expansion after expansion after expansion ad nauseum or ad nauseum is team play. Go find friends, go get teammates, go find a community, go do this with other people, go find an LFG, right? But they're now leaning more towards all right, yeah, you maybe grind up solo or you do your own thing and you enjoy your own like farming time, grinding time. You can do that with buds still or alone now, whatever. But then it's like a collective individualism in a way. It's like you've got a bunch of individualists coming together for a common goal or cause now,
Hmm.
which is kind of the same thing, but it's pleasing both crowds.
Right.
But again, it's only been slowly ticking up towards that. Appreciating the solo player, like actually rewarding solo or solo flawless completions with something even as simple as an emblem or a
Right.
cool looking emblem.
Right. Um, I'm gonna skip. I mean, let me hop in. AB. I'll let you close the door on it. Um, I brought that topic here because what was it? When Destiny 2 launched, it was a multiplayer game. You know, everything you wanted to do or needed to do required a team. Even menial tasks. So you want to do a nightfall. I don't know if matchmaking was there, but I don't think there was a level of matchmaking that could get you the kind of the 100K you
There's
needed.
no matchmaking in Nightfalls.
That's what I
When it
thought.
first
Okay,
launched,
that's
there
what I
was
thought.
zero because I did Nightfalls alone. I did how current GMs work, that's how I treated Nightfall's year one of D2. I went in there solo and tried doing them. The Titan, 9 fire team members lost in Titan. That was my
Oh
first
yeah,
one I tried
yeah,
to do
yeah.
solo.
7-2
No,
song,
that took
yes.
forever. Yeah, that was rough. Year one doing that solo, oh my god, in Nightfall, oof, that was
Yeah,
worse than GMs now.
yeah. That's what I'm
Because you
saying.
had all
So
the enemies.
it was rough. It was really, really rough. But I mean, as we got closer and closer away, a lot of the core Destiny 1 guys who started Destiny 2 fell off. As they fell off, fire teams were broken. You stopped seeing this massive clan of people who played Destiny 1 going into Destiny 2. You started seeing guys saying, oh, I'm in a dead clan, or I'm no longer playing here. And that rise started to give way. Destiny, I mean, Bungie wants to have those engagement numbers, and they begin to realize there's lots of gamers out there who don't talk. There's guys who never pick up the mic and play this game on a regular basis. I met a few in a few raids. Freaked me out, bro. Dude was able to do a complete raid without saying a word. He could type in the chat, he can do call outs and everything from the chat, and he was on point and was actually faster than people talking on mics. I was shocked. But I began to notice something. LFG began to boom. You stop hearing about clans and how big clans were, but LFG began to boom. There were tons of guys running to LFG weekly. Nah, I ain't got no friends. I don't need any. I'm just going to LFG and I'll find some guys and we'll get a raid done. And they did. I mean, hell, AB is living proof that you can get on LFG and destroy. You know what I'm saying? And what I found interesting about that was as this happened, you started seeing more and more solo players hop in. You go to the tower now, it's not rare to see a guy with no clan just sitting in there, and you're like, you don't want a clan? No, I'm good. And it's very interesting to see that we have grown that far that you no longer have to be a part of this massive clan or now you could use a fire team. I'm not saying you don't need these things, but people are now getting in there and doing missions and so forth solo, getting in presage missions solo, and knocking it out. And I would love to see Bungie match the level of content with reward. But I mean that goes the same for the multiplayer teams and so forth. I think the only thing that rewards very well right now in game, GMs, raids, trials, those things are rewarded properly. Outside of that, it get a little iffy because I don't know where dungeons kind of sitting in that weird space between raids and strikes, and the rewards seem to be just thrown in there for the most part. So I'm really wanting to give a nod to the solo players, the guys out there who are doing their thing or whatever, and I love the way it seems, but it's confusing at the same time because if they're not pushing the narrative for us to play together and make more friends, and they're just pushing the narrative to play the game, wouldn't the future be more solo players and less clans? Just curious. I'm gonna give it to you,
No,
baby.
because oh yeah, go
Let's start back in Destiny 1.
Jesus Christ.
So
ahead.
what was the how how did people find people in Destiny 1? You didn't go online, you
That's
didn't
right.
go through Reddit. Most people didn't. Like Bungie had there was an LFG thing set up, but it was somewhat rarely used until Taken King. So how did you find people? You saw somebody just walking around, did a little, probably, probably teabagged a little bit, had some fun, invited that person to your respective console party invite, said, hey, what do you want to do? And you just met people that way, in a good old fashioned way, just out in the wild.
Mhm.
People grew groups from that. They made friends. I made some of my best friends in Destiny 1 that no longer play because how Destiny 2 started.
Yeah.
And and I had good times all the way up until the last DLC for the thing, which I didn't play because I was in school at the time and I didn't have time for it.
Mhm.
Um, so starting Destiny 2, the complete reverse happens. Everything's all of a sudden done through LFGs and guides online. People are less reliant on everybody that they're meeting. Uh, a lot of the blueberries and new people that jump straight into Destiny 2 that never played Destiny 1 didn't know what they were doing. Destiny 1 players get frustrated at those players for not understanding the game, even though they're new to it.
Mhm.
Because Destiny 1 players, I've noticed, like to forget that they were once the little blueberry man. Oh man,
Preach, brother, preach.
especially the elites in the raids. They're like, man, once upon a time I've never speed run before, but now that I can speed run, all of a sudden everyone's beneath me. But like, bruh, come on.
Oh man.
So, and the way that D2 does clans, I think is wrong. All it is once per activity each week, you get a little engram that is essentially legendary shards.
Right.
Whoop
Yeah.
de freaking do. No one cares. So since the rewards of being in a clan and the stigma of being in a clan is not that great at the moment because most clans are either dead or all they do is have the high end people just repeatedly do stuff while the lower people in the clan just sit there and do nothing.
Speak on it. Oof.
Like
Good.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Bungie needs to redo the way that they have clan set up in D2 if they plan on making this a decent social experience again.
Agreed.
Like
Yeah.
I'm in another server that is not this one. Like I love you guys. I'll stay in this clan.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in another server where this week alone I've done six raids
Wow.
with almost every single one of those players that was not me. I think there's an exception for 3 players total across all raids that was their first raid they've ever done.
Wow.
So there's tons of people out there that need to get into in-game content that want to, but LFG sucks because they're being elitist scumbags, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
only decent places that you can realistically go that are not like must know what to do, must have this, must have that,
Mhm.
are random Reddit posts and some unique servers like the other one that I'm a part of.
Right.
Like Bungie needs to redo their social experience if they want things to go right again.
Right.
And if they don't, exactly what's currently happening is gonna continue to happen and get it worse. It's gonna be more solo play, more rewards for just being solo, which if you want to do something solo as a challenge and get a reward from it, that's fantastic. Great. Bungie should have rewards for you.
But
But this is a primary social game.
thank you. Okay. Yo, let me jump in for a second because you spitting bars right now, bro. I'm just gonna combine the other topic in because you kind of ran to it just now. You alluded to it, and I fully freaking agree. As a gamer for Destiny 2, I should not need a Reddit community, a Discord community, or an outside source to socialize with people in the freaking game. If all these things take me out of the game, people are more inclined to do things solo. And the problem with what I have right now with solo, this is where the birth and the support of the cheese comes from. Because if I'm doing it by myself and there's an easy way to do it, I'm gonna do the easy way. I'm gonna cheese it. Cheeses become popular. They become YouTube videos. They become canon. Now no one's doing encounters properly because they don't want to talk to anybody or whatever. That's fine. I really would love to see a hub be built in freaking game to harbor these things. And I agree, clans are worthless. I think clans are pointless because at the end of the day, it creates clicks, it creates drama, it creates nonsense, and people bicker and fight because I'm the best guy, I'm the best guy. And I'm like, yo, dude, we only hear the game. Who the hell cares? I mean, I've lost some good friends. I wouldn't say good, but whatever. People playing this game over egos. And I think that's where the issue comes from clans. This whole pecking order, this one king and everyone's underneath him and he has his subjects he can pick. I don't believe a clan should be built like that. There should be a founder, but he shouldn't be the end all be all. I hate that feel of having to be that person. I want a game. I want to be able to talk to the lowest person, the newest person in the clan, because that's the people who need the help. The guy who's not talking because he sees tens of thousands of guys posting about, well, yeah, I just got the 15th guard roll this week or whatever. He's intimidated. He's not going to step up and say, hey, Evo, hey, Shadow, could you guys give me a raid? Because he's going to feel like if he gets in there, we're going to shit on him. And you know what? I myself I'll take my own blame. I've been there and I've seen it happen. I've been part of the shitting on somebody because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. And I realized this. It's not elitism. I think a lot of D1 veterans do have a sense of, I played the game so much, I know everything. You should too. I had to break that because there's tons of gamers who don't have that, and they're just here from Destiny 2, and you just went through a raid with gods we know. You took blueberries through, bro. You're doing God's work.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. If I had my own way, that's where I want this to go. As far as gaming, I want to go back to that, to the essence. No more ego, no more nothing. Just getting in the experience of seeing. Like for me, I got a bro named Dejen, and he does his own thing. He a Titan's Titan. My man gonna punch anything. A throw come through, he punching it. And I'm usually laughing or fussing, one or the other. But if I could get him through some of this difficult content, makes my day. You know, if he gets vexed, I'm happy with it. I'm selfless, bro. I'm not competitive at all. I don't need to be the best. If you can win, and I'm part of that team, I won too. But I digress. I can go on for hours on this topic. Moving on. Shadow Quest, say something.
Well, no, I just didn't know where to step in. Like, I just agree. You're right. Like, yeah.
Well, I got a question. Well, being we live, I propose something real quick. AB, you're always on LFG, bro. But tell you what, I'm going to dissolve the clan. I want to join that server because I don't feel. Well, I won't dissolve. Hold on, whoa. I'm not going to dissolve the clan. I'm
Don't
going to join
rush to
the.
anything
Yeah,
drastic
I'm not
here.
going to dissolve the clan. Hold on, let me. Yeah, I
Hold
caught
up.
myself like, wait a minute, whoa.
Hang on, we're not taking like that's what we're against here.
Yeah, I'm
Hold
not going
on.
to dissolve the clan. I'm just going to join the server and maybe bring the clan with me to the server so we can get in there and mingle. Cause yeah, I think it's an opportunity for people to get in there. I joined the server when I first got my PC called D2 Sanctuary. It's a godsend.
Mhm.
It's a clan. Well, it's not a clan. It's a server built for PC gamers who have anxiety. And it is crazy how many people are in there and how much content they get through.
Wish I could be out there.
Anyway, Shadow, my bad. Go. It's on you, bro.
But no, I mean, I no, I agree. Like that's people with anxiety and whatnot. Like I'm the same way. They grind through the content the fastest, and or not the fastest necessarily, but the most like gamer way of
Hmm.
just doing it because that's what they enjoy.
Hmm.
They're just gaming. They're just
Right.
having a good time. That's what it should be. Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, hmm,
I'll say
definitely.
this: people like to separate games and real life.
Hmm.
That doesn't work. Everything that you experience in the game is real. It is
Yep.
part of life. The things that you learn in a game like this can actually translate to like real jobs and real experience.
Mm.
Like
hmm
leading raids, people that lead. I've heard of stories of people that lead raids in WoW, which they have way bigger raids than we do, but way different. Uh, like I've heard of those people getting like manager jobs because all of a sudden they've had a lot more experience managing a bunch of people saying you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. They know how to distribute workforce. They know how to get it. They know how they understand the big picture. They know how to get it done. Everything that you do in a game can transfer to how you're going to do that, but everything that you do in solo play does not. And like there's problem solving that in solo play that does transfer to like real experiences and stuff, but for the majority at that point you're just playing to play and you're just playing to love the game, which
yeah.
that's great.
Well, I think also like Bungie's been getting better with designing content that's a lot better for that. Like Presage, it's designed a lot more as like a dungeon-esque mission where you can run 20 million times, which is
Hmm.
awesome. But like early D2 content, you'd run it once. Some of the missions were replayable or should have been used more, but they were largely only one-offs. And like even Lake of Shadows, it's a really fast nightfall. 4 years later, I'm kind of burnt out of Lake of Shadows, and so it's like,
Yeah.
right? Like some of the content's just not as repeatable as others, but I feel like or as like soloable, right? You're doing weird cheeses where you're glitching over a wall or through geometry because you have to otherwise stand on three plates that require a total of three people, and so it's like you can't physically do that as a solo versus now you can it's only one plate and it's a buff where you shoot a bunch of things in a certain amount of time, so it's like difficult for a solo to do or something like that. Um, but yeah, it's just how I guess how they just kind of design it and differentiate it between the forced team play and the individual capable strats. Because otherwise, if it's too solo heavy, then it's like teams will just floor it.
Right. I don't know, man. As for the solo thing, I'm impressed, but you know what? I never looked at the other side of the coin. The reasoning behind why there's so many solo players lately. He make a great point. There's so many abandoned clans right now, or partial clans, or even groups. And I think sometimes as much as I hate to say this because I'm streaming and I'm a streamer, I do think as streamers we have a responsibility of making sure beyond just getting paid or making ourselves look good that we respect the community. And I don't think that's being done. Like when we glorify how you can do a solo flawless this or solo flawless that, we kill the idea of fun. I mean, like it is fun to do it, yes, but the practice is a motherfucker. You just want to punch yourself sometimes. But these feats don't make much of a difference. Like, where's the joy in that? When I mean, like, granted, some of this stuff content's kind of easy, but I mean, like, wouldn't it be more joyful or feel better to get a guy who doesn't play Destiny as much as you his first solo flawless clear? Well, not solo, but his first team flawless clear.
Well, sure, but then after that, what do you do? Because
Well,
like that's the argument. They've always had that first experience. That's what you had all of year one D2 and all of year two. But
mhm,
then the veterans or the people that hit that point, they're like, okay, cool, I got my loot. Now what? Well, that's it. You play it again because it's fun or because you
right,
like the environments. Oh
right,
no, I'm good. I'll go play whatever else. But now it's like, oh, there's some guns I can farm with like 20 perks. Okay, I'll run this a few more times. Oh, I haven't gotten Vex to drop. Okay, I'll run this a few more times. Oh, there's cool different sets of armor that can drop. Okay, I'll run this a few more times.
Vex does not
Right?
exist.
Like like they have to give purpose to keep the veterans there to help the new players because that's where I feel like we've gotten to the point we had with Beyond Light where they were catering. That was the third time they had or second time they'd reset the New Light experience with a yearly expansion in a row. They did it with Shadowkeep, they did it with obviously Beyond Light, and I think they might have done it a little bit with Forsaken, but I'm not sure. I don't remember if they touched New Light.
Have you played the New Light experience? There's a reason it was. Phew, it's
Yeah,
terrible. It's terrible.
yeah, exactly. But it's like they're trying to get that so that they can bring the casuals up to that end game point so then they can finally work on the end game, but they don't have any end game to begin with. And so it's
Right.
like even if you're bringing the casuals up there, it doesn't matter. And so that's why at least my argument is with Witch Queen, hopefully they're investing a little bit more into that end game because I think soloing should be there and it's fine, but
Yeah.
like it should be an option or
That.
a rewarding option and it shouldn't be the end all be all necessarily, right?
Right.
Because I never LFG Presage because I can do it solo and I've been able to do it solo since the first time I did it on normal and master because I haven't gotten a solo flawless on master yet because of the timer, but I can do it
Yeah.
very easily with all the ads. It's just the timer.
Let me pick up.
And like, but you don't. I don't look for a group for that just because of how soloable that content is. But there's other things like with VOG, you need a group, and it's like, all right, hell yeah, I'll just go find a group. Or GMs, that's endgame. I need to go find an LFG. All right.
Right. I mean that.
I mean, technically, you don't need a group for WoW. You can really do that with like 2 or 3 people. It's been done.
Yeah.
So why don't
Yeah,
people?
but it's still easier as like a 6 man, at least in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Everything's easier with a fire team. Why do people do solo content?
Uh,
Yeah,
hey, you got a good point. I just want to say it.
it's talking to people's hard.
I don't. I don't know. I really don't know how to kill the elitism amongst some of the gamers and the toxic complainers that just want to bitch. They don't. It don't really matter what they're bitching about. They want to bitch. Like I have no problem with Vex not dropping for just doing it
Yeah.
one time. I'm fine with that. This is Destiny, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like I played Destiny 1. I never got Galahorn until they gave it to us. I didn't get Vex in
Why
Destiny 1.
Xur exists.
You know what I'm saying? Like and I'm fine with that. There's no, I hate to say it, but
All the
there was a bit of feeling exclusive when you got that gun to drop, and it wasn't just a
yeah.
hand me out.
Yeah, and although like with Vex, what people don't realize, it'll get added when they remove VOG with Witch Queen. They'll add it to the tribute statue, whatever the like.
I don't think
I don't
that'll ever
ever
happen.
touch it.
I hope it
They
doesn't.
did it with the other raid ones.
I
The
hope it
only
doesn't.
reason
I don't think
Thousand
VOG.
Voices isn't
I
is
don't
because they
think.
didn't.
Go ahead.
I really don't think raids are ever getting removed. I don't. I think from now on, I don't think they are.
No,
I
they
think they
said
might.
Vogue is leaving with Witch Queen.
Yeah, it'll be
No,
gone.
they didn't. It's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, wait.
they said it's gone with Witch Queen. It's getting removed, and we're getting a new raid from D1 along with the Witch
So
Queen raid.
they're gonna content vault VOG.
I'm pretty sure VOG's not leaving.
Yeah,
I
we
can
gotta
double check, but I
fact check that
thought.
real quick. I I don't know. I mean, if it's going for sure, damn, I can't believe it's going before last push.
Bun-
That
But Bungie made a post on what's leaving. They said the Forsaken. They said the Tangled Shore. They said the strikes that are on the Tangled Shore, and they said the Forsaken campaign. Nothing else.
so we're still gonna have
And the seasonal content from this year.
well, yeah,
Except for whatchamacallits, which are going to strikes as well.
so we'll lose Presage as well then.
Yep, we're losing Presage.
Oof.
We're not losing VOG.
No, it is. They
Uh,
might have to double check. It does say most of the year 4 seasonal content will be vaulted,
VOG
and
is
Vogue was introduced free under seasonal content. It
yes.
wasn't a part of
Well, VOG
the
was
expansion.
reintroduced as like a goodwill towards solo players as the raid that they need to play because VOG is currently the only free to play raid in the game.
yeah, it took everything out of it. Yeah. But I can't. Well, either way. So
VOG wasn't introduced as part of any season. You don't have to own any seasons to play VOG.
so yeah, wow. So you get the prophecy, Vogue, and Crucible if you're free to play. Oof, that's gotta be. Bro, the free to play experience. I don't know if you guys have tried. I went back to try, but when I deleted my character, I was doing some experimenting. It's interesting. If you're free to play and you're just starting, you start with one subclass. I think it's Solar for Warlocks, Arc for Titans, and
Mm-hmm.
Solar for Hunters as well, right? And you have all three trees and that the elements, right? But you don't have the other elements, and you have to get a certain amount of experience to unlock it. There's a quest that you get from Ada to unlock that, and in doing so and getting void kills or solar kill or art kills, you unlock one of the other subclasses. And once you get those, there's another quest to get the actual thing. And I said, "Whoa! I didn't know this was part of it because no one's ever had to start from a fresh account, free to play." It's rather deep, but it teaches you nothing. You just riddled with quests. Oh, go do this, go do this. Why am I doing this? Shut up, do it again. So there's so many quests and it's so confusing. They literally give you what's the SMG, the exotic SMG. Oh,
Risk Runner.
yeah, you get Rich Runner and you get the shotgun, the one chaperone. Those are the first
Peppered,
two.
yeah.
Yeah, you get those two quests. I think both come. Well, one comes from Shao Han, one comes from the guy Devon. So
Mm-hmm.
you start off with those, and you basically build your way up from there. And free to play sucks, bro. Like you get the first mission of every planet, and that's pretty much it. Any seasonal content or expansion content, you can't do it. So if the GMs or if the Nightfalls want an expansion raid strikes or whatever, can't do it. So your content is.
I
What?
think they I,
Have they lifted that?
I thought that they were looking at that.
Mm,
I could be wrong.
yeah, I mean, like, but and granted, I don't promote free to play anyway. I don't think that's a good idea. Not for this game.
Right. It's a good tryout for everything, but it's not meant to be the experience.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because then you can get a pretty good experience. I mean, you can get your prophecy dungeon on. You can get a full raid and Vault of Glass. But
With
yeah,
time lost weapons, adept, that's probably well, yeah.
could you even get high enough and look? Cause I mean, like any seasonal weapon you can't acquire. So like you get guns
No,
that'll
but
be
you can
grayed
still
out.
grind strikes, and you can do strikes in Crucible and Gambit. Gambit will get you up to
Oh yeah.
Pinnacle
And
God.
or max power.
you'll still get Umbral engrams. You just won't
Yeah.
be able to decrypt
The seasonal ones. Oh.
Yeah, you
the
can't
world
focus
loot.
them. Yeah.
Oh wow, you can't focus them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great step into it. I just think I'd rather them give you 2 full days of unlimited play and then and then lock you out because that's a better
I feel
experience.
like
or
Maybe
weekend.
that might be too overwhelming though, just because everything is so
Oh yeah, I
splintered. It's
forgot
like
about that.
from the Forsaken era, there's a lot of remnants of the mystery. Go find it yourself. Like it's a mystery game just as much as it is an FPS MMO. Like you're meant to go hunt the secrets, like look for things. That's the whole Dreaming City Tangled Shore point.
Mhm.
And so that I think is why things are so splintered and why like the new light experience has been so difficult because it's like, yeah, here, just go grind all these Vanguard strikes that you have no idea what the fuck they are. Have fun.
Right? Yes.
But like at the end of the day, that is still Destiny 2. It's just they're doing a poor way of communicating that and showing it to the player or to the new
I
player.
hope they bring that back in Witch Queen
What?
because I've missed that aspect. The go find all the puzzles thing.
I love that part, bro.
I feel like they will with Savathun and like the Throne World. Like with how they've done the Ascended plane this season, I
I
feel like they
love.
will.
Oh, that was wonderful. That I love the mysteries and everything was just amazing to go in there and go look around and get lost and skip over stuff and fall off the map.
Yeah. Like that's classic Bungie and Destiny right there. And that's why as well like some of this is so difficult for new players because like how do you explain that to a new player without ruining it for them,
Right.
right?
Right.
Well, like as a content creator, it's like okay, well we ruin sections for them that we concede that are ruinable, right, to the new player as we explain, but Bungie's conceding none of it is explainable because they don't want to ruin any of that potential experience.
Right.
But I think it also hurts the game in some ways, but
Yeah. I mean, well, how do you feel? And well, I guess both of you guys this because this is off the cuff. Right as of right now, how do you feel about the game?
feels the best it's been in a while, but it definitely still needs a lot of work. Like Light 3.0 can't come fast enough. Oh boy, Light 3.0 can't come fast enough.
I'm scared for that, bro. To be honest with you.
If they just make it like Stasis, exactly like Stasis, just throw in what they already have, base all the 12 perks of the three different subclasses as aspects and fragments, I think it'd be fine. It needs some balance tweaking, but I think it'd be fine. And they're gonna go beyond that and make it and add some to it. And so I think at minimum you'll get a feeling of like how Beyond Light each season will feel like how Stasis did when it launched. That subclass is going to feel absolutely busted and broken, but for a lot of good reasons. One, it's going to need an absolute metric truckload of balancing, both from Bungie and the community. And two, they're doing it season by season. And so, yeah, when Void 3.0 comes out, of course it's going to be better than Stasis and the other two probably at start because the other two were still on the old system
right.
and Stasis people are more familiar with.
Mm.
And so you just got to
Stasis
give it a little bit of breathing room.
Stasis also took almost an entire year to develop all of the aspects, the
Yeah.
fragments, and everything related to it balance wise.
Mhm.
Void 3.0 is coming out in one season.
Yep. You get it all at once. I don't think, yeah, because they said there's no quests or anything tied to it like Beyond Light. There's no go grind strikes, go grind Crucible. Here's the storyline. There's nothing. It's just here.
Interesting.
Is I think what they last said about it. Maybe they'll change that, but I believe they said they're just going to give you the new light of like subclass upgrades right away.
Hmm.
'Cause it's too much work, right?
Right.
I
It's
think that's what took them the year
I don't think it's
was
too much
making
work.
quests.
huh?
Well,
Well,
now
like all the
making
quest line every season were all the same. Just here's this, go grind
yeah,
20 strikes. Like it took them a lot of work to do the Beyond Light campaign experiences for just the grenades. The grenades took forever,
Oh
and like
God.
people were like, "Stop! These take fucking too long." And they're like, all right, we'll stop." That's probably what killed the aspect quests. It
the
was people
first
hating on the
2 weeks of
grenades.
Beyond Light when I started doing those grenade quests, I was like, man, this glacier grenade sucks without aspects and fragments.
Yes.
And
Yep.
then, because I'm Warlock, and oh my gosh, it sucks. And
Yep.
then
But
people are
like
like,
once
man,
you
you can
got
get more grenades
everything,
by doing these quests. And I'm like, I really want the Duskfield grenade. And it's the last one I got. And I was like, by the time I got it, I was done. I was,
yep.
Well,
But
that's
now
so
that you
good.
have all of it and
Yeah.
you can go into it and experiment, it's not as bad, right? And so hopefully
but
that's
now
what.
with aspects and fragments, I don't even use Duskfield anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
I
back
was
to
gonna say.
Glacial
I
Grenade.
was gonna say it. I'm
Like,
with you. I don't know, man. I AB, how do you feel about the game right now? What in its current state? What do you think about the game?
mm, I think we have to wait for Witch Queen.
Yeah,
I can't answer that until Witch Queen hits because
because
if the things that Bungie says are going to happen, we are in a fantastic spot. But
I think you'll find our
if
friendship
the experience for the Witch Queen
agreeable.
campaign does not live up to what Bungie said, which is each campaign mission being pre-siege quality like,
Mhm.
which that's a lot to live up
It
to.
is. It is.
and repeatable because there's multiple
Until
difficulties
we
because
And
meet
there's a
repeatable
again.
with multiple
yeah
difficulties. Like just the campaign by itself is a lot to live up to, not including the crafting, which can be botched pretty easily,
Mhm.
not
people
including
are questioning whether
anything else.
crafting is monetized today. There was a huge thing on Twitter, people just freaking out like, "Oh my god, they're gonna monetize the ever living shit out of
Oh
crafting."
No,
DMG, can you respond?
they're already looking at giving us more a higher limit on the weekly tier 3 focusing. Like they're not gonna monetize freaking crafting.
I
Like
hope not, yo. I don't know, bro. Listen. I would love to have the same confidence in you, but I'm just looking at
I
transmog
don't
and
have the
Yep,
confidence.
transmog
I
killed it for me.
uh,
Yep,
I don't have that confidence.
oh, okay.
I think I think that they could potentially screw up multiple parts of it and that it's gonna flop. And I'm expecting that because that's what Beyond Light did for me.
yep,
That was pretty hype, and then we got through like 4 campaign missions, and that was it. And I was like, what?
yep. Because, like, think about why Forsaken did so well versus Beyond Light, right? Both introduced new subclass elements,
Mhm.
but, like, ignoring the fact that everyone was whining about some stasis overpowered stuff in the beginning. Like, they did that with Forsaken too, but it took Bungie forever to fix that, even longer. But, like, it was just like people enjoyed Forsaken because at the core of it, the gameplay experience and the repeatable experience and the mystery and the hunting for things and the what
Mhm.
they were at the time reviewing as the core Destiny experience was still there. Beyond Light kind of threw all that out and said, "All right, we're gonna remove a lot of this content to the DCV, and we're just giving you a new subclass. Have fun, enjoy." And it's like, wait, what? That's like
I,
Whereas Witch Queen, they're kind of leaning onto already existing stuff a little more without saying, like, all right, we're going to give you all these new subsystems with new abilities. Instead, it's like, all right, here's some new uh, gameplay elements that are more of the like crafting or more hardcore esque, whereas versus the like flavor upend like supers because how you don't people don't treat supers like an ability in a like a grenade or in other video games. They treat supers like it's a ultimate ability in Overwatch, right? You
it's
it's
even
one and
called.
done or
Most guys even
two.
call it their ults too. I'm like,
Most
where does that come
most
from?
people, almost everyone saves their super to fight a boss. No
Yeah,
one uses it
exactly.
for like ad clear and stuff, which is why I'm having such a refreshing time using Nova Warp and everything. Because like, hey,
Hmm.
if ads pop, go ham. And even then, the
Yeah.
damage for Nova Warp isn't that bad on bosses. Like, holy crap!
No.
Yeah, but it's like when they're selling the subclasses, right? Like again, they're selling that super, but nobody uses it that often. Nobody cares. Versus like the actual replayability with like crafting or like the customization with stasis. That because like that's what makes stasis broken, not the freezing aspect. It's like it's just the straight
Is the
exponential build factor over light
Yep.
subclasses. Like it's just busted compared to it. And of course it's going to be. And so yeah, it's just it gets off its own rails almost. The whole game, like that's why it's so hard for them to fix it all
Wow.
because
Hey,
it's
Miss
just
Sin. Cap says I didn't like earning my aspects and stuff. Yes, Cap. Be honest with you, there could have been a better way to do that whole quest for stasis fragments and so forth. I just don't know what it is, cause
being being a warlock was the most painful experience I've
oh,
ever had doing those quests
yeah,
because getting shatter kills doesn't work if you're in a super
thank
for some
you.
reason. It,
yeah,
So
because
I,
Bungie,
I hope they'll do that again. The previews we got for Void 3.0 have given me so much hope for the future that it almost feels like I kind of want Arc 3.0 and
Void
Void to come
portal,
together.
buddy. Let's go.
Jesus,
right? It's gonna be great. You
you
can
know,
throw your little void orb.
uh, check
Oh.
Jen, we gonna be Captain America throwing shields, bro. I mean,
Outside of your super.
yes, it's gonna be nuts, bro. I'm like, yo,
Right? That's gonna be so
yeah,
cool.
it's gonna be so many different things in diversity. I just, hey, I really do want Void 3.0 to be amazing, cause immediately, like, so, fun fact. Whenever I play with AB at season start, and I'm just putting this out there for anybody who plays with us, because I mean I've noticed people don't seem to understand how we play. No disrespect, by the way. When we start a season, we may start the first mission, but typically we're gonna sit at the tower for hours, looking at weapon rolls. We're gonna sit at the tower for
Yeah.
Oh
hours.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
we're not gonna.
Beyond Light Launch. We
Yo, we just
we were
sat.
like, let's look at this, let's look at this, let's look at this, let's look at
Yes, we
this.
were sitting there.
What do these do?
Mhm.
We were looking at god
And
rolls,
we
perks,
couldn't
and
even access half of what we were looking at yet.
yes, but it
And
was
it was,
those things excite me, man. And I think I know it excites AB because we were just there, like going back and forth between light dodge GG versus pulling something from the gunsmith. Like, yo, I gotta. What's that roll? Really? Word? We bugging. It was fun for me. It was Christmas for a nerd for me, and I think the same gonna happen with Witch Queen. I'm gonna be digging into perks and so forth before I dive into the story. I will be diving into the story. I'm looking for a fire team for that. It's going to be fun, I think. But my idea of fun does not translate to those who are in a rush. Because I'm thinking, but listen, I was in there with AB hearing the theory craft for Warlocks, and I'm already thinking, like, yo, that's a pretty good rock. I could probably do this over here, and I could synergize with his build, and this could be crazy. It that excited the
Well,
hell out of me.
does it all
that's
work
hopefully
out
gonna,
in the end after you look at it on paper? Maybe
yeah.
not,
No,
but
no, no, no.
even then, like,
That's gonna hopefully be the good thing about Witch Queen, because you won't need to sit there and grind out the subclass. They'll just give it to you, and so it'll just be the weapons. You can do that right away,
Listen,
and you'll
oh
be able
my
to
there,
god.
hopefully
So
max
and
build craft from the start.
there is no question they're going to time gate some parts of left and crafting. We
yeah.
all
Oh
know
Oh
that's
yeah,
yeah,
gonna
yeah. Oh god,
happen.
yeah,
that's why
yeah.
we're getting
Don't
Void
get your
3.0 in
panties in
one
a twist
lump.
when
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah, there's no way to
Like,
give it up. Yeah. I listen, off the bat. So as soon as Witch Queen goes live, I'm going to a planet, maybe Earth, maybe somewhere, and I'm going to sit there for hours playing with Void 3.0. I'm going to get the ins and outs. I'm going to try different builds together and see what works, what doesn't work. Then I'm coming back to the tower, and I'm going to be there for hours, fucking around, just looking for builds, mods, perks, and see, because I know they're adding new stuff. And oh my god, you talking about weapon crafting? That's even more hours sit there. So that's heaven for me. I know for a lot of other people that's not what they want to do, but just a case in point, if you join on me day one, that's what I'm doing. Don't be mad at me, please. We still bros. Don't be mad.
launch the strike, bro.
No, like no, like bro, I'm in the menus. So definitely look forward to that or whatever. And don't be a party pooper either. If you're day one and you're having fun, that's fine. Don't spoil it, please. I've been doing my best this past few seasons to not look at YouTube videos on the future or Rick Cactus videos on the end of quests or whatever. I love living in the moment of a quest. I don't want to be told. When Presage came, and I think I was friends with Plumbus at the time. Me, Plumbus, and Big Hairy Boobs, who I don't know if he's still on. We went in that thing blind, and it was hilarious. And we made it a tradition for anybody who went with us after that point. You're going through blind. We're not telling you where anything's at, and you're leading. And it was just, it was hilarious, bro. It was hilarious. Yo, um, Snazzle, we took Snazzle through, and like we made him find his way through. It was just hilarious, man. But it
I've,
was
I,
fun.
I've been a part of one raid where I was the only experienced person. It was a team of 5 people, and they wanted to do a blind,
Oh,
and I let them do it.
oh.
And it took
How long?
over 2 to 3 days of going back
Oh
into that
shit.
raid
Jesus
of them manually
Christ.
blindly learning every encounter,
Hmm.
but they did it,
Shout out to
including
Nice.
them.
Riven.
Shout out to Riven.
Nice.
Yo, shout out to them. Shout out to them because that raid blind. I think maybe the first encounter you can kind of brute force through, but it kind of goes downhill fast after that. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
it's a tough raid. It's a good
Yeah,
raid.
definitely. I think you could do Deep Stone. I'll take that back. I think we did a day one Deep Stone, and we stalled out where everybody else stalled out. Atrax was it was ridiculous. We couldn't do enough damage to him, bro. And at some points, he was regaining health as we were hitting him.
That was day one bugs. There were so many bugs in that raid. I hope Bungie never releases a raid as unfinished as that raid was. That there was walls you could walk through. There's so many cheeses after
Yeah.
the first week. Like
Oh
they even put the wrong shanks in. Like how
wow.
do you do that? The shanks had the
Yeah.
sniper model, but they fired regular bullets.
Wow. Look, we knew something was up when Wrath the Champ contest mode was gone and we was able to breeze through. I was like, yo, dude, why are the ads not shooting us? Like they're here and they're in large numbers, but they're just kind of just standing around. And I was like, wow, this is kind of odd. And they're like, even when you talk about, I'm like, look at him. You literally got to kill yourself. It's hard to
Mhm.
wipe, bro. They did not shoot me. So,
Yeah.
I
I think that's fixed now.
all that's fixed. I did
Yeah.
it this week. It's all
Okay.
good.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that was part of the issue. I think, and that might have been done on purpose to make sure more
Uh,
people got through it.
Well, I don't think it was done on purpose. I think that was a consequence of the engine updates that they did with Beyond Light, and
Yeah.
I don't think that they foresaw that coming. It probably didn't happen. It's possible it didn't even happen in their little in-house testing site that they have, and it's probably only happened on live servers, and they were like,
It
"Oh
was
fuck."
all on Stadia. They had to do all the testing on Google Stadia for the first
Oh,
time because
it
of
was.
COVID for Beyond
That's
Light.
right.
Uh,
Oh,
So that's
okay.
why everything was a hot fucking mess in the beginning
Oh
because
my
they
gosh.
outsourced all the remote work through Stadia instead of just getting the employees' laptops. So like, nope, Stadia. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, that was
Wouldn't a computer be better? Nope,
that
Stadia. It's like,
that
okay.
oh,
everything, yeah.
yikes.
Yeah.
No, that's what that explains a lot. I love Deep Stone though. I thought that was a great starter raid for guys who've never raided before, get their feet wet. It had some difficulty to it, but it wasn't over the top with mechanics. I really, really like. I think if it was a raid to start people on, that'd be the one. Either that or Vogue, because Vogue's not that bad until the end as far as mechanics are concerned. But
Yeah.
you can kind of get through that when you. But I mean, like, I wouldn't take Last Wish and make that the first raid. I
Nope.
just simply wouldn't. Absolutely not. No, I'm not gonna do that because I
No,
don't
you have
want
to
you.
make, you'd have
Guard
to keep your ribbon cheese.
Yeah.
Like,
Garden of Salvation as well. I
No.
had this week I did that one. It was 5 brand new people, and it was 2 people's first raid, and it took us 5.5 hours to get through it.
yeah,
Oh
and I
my
don't understand why.
god.
It's the easiest raid besides VOG in my opinion. It's just ad clear, except for Gambit at the end. Some of the
Tether
ads can overwhelm with the
tether
That's
floor,
tether
yeah.
but
mechanics confuse a lot of people.
Yes, it does.
I didn't even do the boss the normal way. We had to do it with 4 wells.
Wow.
wow. Okay.
Okay. Well, I
That's
mean,
so strange.
hats
Okay.
off to you for the Sherpa of that, bro. Because like,
Yeah.
I know before I left console, I was with a group of guys who did the raid, and this tethering was what cost us the boss every time because either somebody would be crossing across, aka me. You know what I'm saying? We're building the right. Okay, where are we doing DPS? We're doing DPS on the left. What you just I'm on the wrong side. I'm going
I
over.
made all 6 people be in the tether on both tethers for the boss.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice, nice. That's
How you
yo,
do it.
yeah.
It's not as bad as it used to be. It also used to be bugged as hell.
That was bug too.
Um,
Jeez.
yeah, the tethers wouldn't connect properly, or they would connect to the wrong person when it wouldn't, or when it wasn't supposed
Yeah,
to, even when they
it,
were out of
if
range.
if somebody had too much lag on their connection or something, it wouldn't even register that they were there. It was so
Yeah.
stupid.
Or it would
Wow.
register they were there, but in a completely different, like it was a server versus client
Yeah, it
registration
would put
issue or
them like
something.
under the ground sometimes. It was,
Yeah,
and then the
like
ground is treated as terrain, right? And the tether can't go through terrain, so it would go to them, but then now they're underground, so now they can't connect to anybody.
yeah,
Wow.
and then you just go through the damage phase because it's got a short timer, and so like in the beginning it was a fucking pain in the ass because of the bugs, but like now it's not nearly as bad, I feel. But that's still surprising that people have struggle with it, but
Just say, why you gonna get people hyped like that? You know, Destiny ain't gonna work on day one. Yo,
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, come on, you know which queen's gonna be bugged as shit. You
yeah.
want to try and go to Savvy's Throne World? Yeah, wait in the fucking waiting for server line.
Listen, Jid, this is part of the reason I sit in the tower. I'm fully aware the game's bugged, right? And I know while the game's getting sorted out and and everything's getting stable, I got plenty of time to go through these perks and looking at these builds and new weapons and so forth. That's why I do it. I don't rush into the content because I know I'm gonna get there and it's gonna be all kinds of hooky shit going on. I'm gonna be mad. So no,
Yep.
no, no, no,
I'm gonna
no.
be mad.
Yeah, because you imagine you get a god. Well, no, this did happen. 2 seasons ago, I got a god roll. I got the god roll sword. I was talking to AB. I got it, and I got DC'd. Right when I got back in, the sword was gone, and I was
I
like,
don't
wait.
remember that.
I was on my hunter. I had got what was the roll? What was
Oh,
the
is that
roll?
the day that they like rolled back the servers because like some people's
Yeah,
accounts got messed
Yes,
up?
bro.
Oh,
that was the first and only time they've ever done that, so
Bro,
I don't think they'll ever do that again. That was like the ultimate kill
you
switch.
have no
Like,
idea how few. I had it was one for all relentless strikes
yeah,
on
that
the
was when they were
sword.
like moving the accounts over and stuff, right? And some
yeah,
people's.
Yes,
for
I
Bungie Net
lost.
to
Uh,
or Battle.net to Bungie, yeah,
It
yeah.
took a minute to
with
get that
cross
roll again,
save.
bro. I was so tight about that. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So since then, I've been really calm about going about new things or whatever. I don't necessarily go playing running for the content because I mean, eesh, I don't want things to go wrong.
Yeah, like that's why I like that the content's getting a lot more repeatable, like Presage. Like you can repeat it, or like Sponge, you can do it over and over again. It's rewarding, it's fun, it's interesting, it's not a slog to repeat. But
Right,
it's also not like a content creator fiesta of who can put this video out first to get the most views, and then
right,
the rest of the game will die afterwards because everyone knows how to do it or see it now and they don't care, right? But
right.
no, you still like for Presage, you want any of the lore or the cosmetics or any of the actual stuff that comes with doing the mission, you got to do it yourself and you got to do it a lot.
Yes,
So even if you look up a video on it, it ain't gonna matter in the end of the day when you're running 50 Presage in a week.
that's
So
real. Look, I liked it. Presage was amazing for me. I think the first week I
yeah,
got into it with my guys, and then I started soloing them, and it's. I think for that particular mission, it just hit different if you're by yourself. The thumps in the background, the chain dragging, um, hearing the roar or whatever, dealing with the enemy solo, it's a little bit different, but it's nothing compared to being in with your buddies. So I'm gonna always say,
yeah.
go with your friends or whatever. So plus, I mean, if you can get new guys through, that's even better. Because I mean, I notice a lot of new guys have a pride thing where, yeah, you can carry me through this shit, but it means more to me that I helped and did stuff myself, and that to me is awesome. Get them in there, and I'll help, but I really want you to get in there and have fun. So I mean, that was
Hmm.
Saint taught me. Bro, Saint's a beast. This guy gets in content and blows through it, no problem. On the fly, changing weapons and so forth. He doesn't believe in bills, which I thought was crazy. I was like, Saint, you don't believe? Nah, nobody needs that. Are you serious? He'll just get into content and just and brute force it with and make it
I
happen.
mean, you don't
Fuck
need
yeah.
it, but
That's how you
it's.
do it sometimes, old school. It's how I did that's how I do a lot of the campaigns. I just keep whatever I have on from the last season and I just do it. Because they're so easy half the time and it's just there for
I
the
know,
story. I'm there for the experience that time. Like I don't give a shit what I'm running. Like I'll just put on this
but
old really good gear
I
even if it's
gotta,
fucking terrible in the new
I,
content. Like
bro, I build for everything. So I'm sitting there like, why am I building? You just ran through it. What the fuck?
it's the experience.
Yeah.
Like yeah, early yeah. That's why I think Witch Queen's going to be interesting because the story missions are going to be repeatable, hopefully for a reason, and not just pointless crafting materials or pointless one-off little things.
Right,
But like running through these missions the first time, they're a fucking amazing experience, but they could also be so much more than that.
right, right. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. All right, so we have really ran on that one. So I'm bringing the last topic, and this one I'm gonna have to sit back and ask questions for because I really didn't play much of it. So, freelance trials was the thing this week, and everybody was going nuts about it. Had some type of opinion one way or the other. Hell, trials itself has been a hot button issue. I I myself am gonna start with something and move off of it because I'm not much of a PvP player. There was a statement being made on several podcasts and YouTube videos about how Trials kept Destiny 2 alive when content was dry, and I am the first person to remind them, not in Destiny 2. There's never been a point in Destiny 2 where Trials has carried the game. Maybe in Destiny
Yeah,
1.
no. Yeah,
Mm,
I never played D1, but in D2, like the PvP people are some of the oldest now, but that I'd largely say that's because the PvE has been all over the place. Like it's PvE has still carried the game.
Right.
It's just PvP people hate themselves and they'll keep throwing their head at a wall.
so,
Like,
so,
don't underestimate a Dark Souls player playing a PvP Destiny game. Like, they'll smash their face against that wall as long as they want.
good point. So, AB, have you played any Trials since it came back?
uh, past couple weeks I haven't just because of time constraints, but let me go over the D1 statistics for trials.
Oh, yes, this man got numbers. He fact checked. Go for it. Go for it.
To anyone who ever said that trials carried the game, week 1 million players. Week by week 4, we were still at about 900-ish K. Skip to week 7, 400.
So, then, so then, where does that come from? Is that just like people? Mm, right, right. Mm, got you. So, all right. So, AB, continue, man. So, what's your thoughts on it, though? Hmm. Right. Oh, that's spicy. Hmm. What, a quarter? Jesus. Mm. Hmm. Okay. Well. Right. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Interesting. Interesting. Hold on. Well, hmm. Right. Right. Okay. Hmm. Yes. I heard. Yes. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me counter that for a second, though. Hold on, because skill base for as much damage as people have claimed it cause. We saw the opposite. I saw what you're speaking on. Basically, I'm not a point 0.8. I'm more like a let me see, a 1.4. I'm not quite a 1.5, so I can't hang with the big boys, but I definitely am better than the point 0.8 guys. So for me, I got that hodgepodge of every game being 4 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Those down to the wire games. Initially, they felt good, but long term, it meant if a person I wanted to play with was lower skilled than me, he would have a terrible time because he would get stomped on the whole time. Um, but I think skill base was more for the low skill. I don't think it really took into account anybody above one, and it created a barrier that protected those below average players from everyone else at the expense of everyone else. Now, go ahead. No, no, go ahead. I'm listening. Mhm. But mhm, always close games. It was terrible. Right. Well, the problem I had with it was PvP was fun. For me, competitive PvP like that, where you're playing against a team and you gotta really grind it out and it takes skill to actually win, was fun. When we went from that to connection based, it went from that to just getting stomped nonstop. Pub stomp, group of guys stacking up. It was never that feeling of it's a possibility we could win. Yes. Trials is different though. Yeah. Okay, that I can agree with. I mean, it's made PvP almost unplayable for guys who are not high skill. And I know the Reddit posts like the post, oh, the streamers only complain because they wanted to be able to pub stomp and make their 40 kill highlight. And sometimes I wonder if that's what it is, because there's a lot of that. Like I don't know how you take joy out of stomping somebody who clearly is under your level. Yes, yes. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, right? And I think, but that would make the Reddit complainers right with that, because I mean, like every streamer was out there. Oh, this is not fun. Every game feels like a championship, and now they're having fun. but nobody else is. I mean, I've heard all the big streamers brag about how good this gun feels and that gun, and I'm like, well, any gun will feel good when you're playing basically bots. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're playing guys who are not really competitive or don't know what the hell's going on, because I mean I'm not the greatest PvP player, but when I did get into solo trials, I always seem to get paired with the guys who just rush in to die. It don't matter where they're at. If we went to the same hallway with the door and you got sniped, that guy came right back next game and he went straight to the doorway again and got sniped again. What's good, Fable? And it's like, okay, to me, there's no joy from that. But then maybe I'm just thinking of it wrong. A bit of both would work. You really do want to keep your or protect your weaker players without giving, because like there's no reason Joe Blow or Johnny No Thumb should be playing as the Cross in his first match of trials or the first game of a quick play. He shouldn't be playing him. There's no way he's gonna win. And you know what blueberries do when they get stomped? They don't come back. So how do you make Crucible an enjoyable experience like Trials? Because Trials actually is fun, bro. I don't like PvP, but Trials is fun. I was in there. I got a few rounds in. I've been watching Shadow go in it. Not Shadow lives in the damn playlist. I've watched Saint go in there or whatever. It's reward. Mhm. 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 I. Mhm. There it is. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah. I don't want it to be a gun again though, bro. The problem with putting a gun as the carrot on the stick for PvP, it's just the rich getting richer. Your streamers are. Yeah, yeah. I don't. That, no, no, no. I mean, I like the idea. Oh, okay. That's expanding on it. That's not a bad idea. I mean, something. Yeah, I just like to be honest with you. I think anything that gives the better people guns or whatever, and they become inaccessible to everybody else, you're only asking for problems because yeah, and we don't need that. No, don't we? And I don't want my guns to be nerfed. Who says so? I I don't have an answer for that, but I do think in some ways, yes, there has to be a carrot on the stick for the PvP players, but it can't be a weapon. Sorry, it just can't be. Right. Yeah. T- Right. Wait, wait, wait. I got idea. I got it, bro. Hold on, cause you just nailed it. Yo, so when Redrick's broadsword, yeah, was it broadsword? No, what was it? Redrick's claymore was introduced. The reward for that was not another gun; it was a skin for the gun. So to get the gun was hard enough because you had to reset your back when PvP comp was PvP comp. Yeah, yeah, you had to reset back then, and you had to reset 5 times, which was hard as hell. And you got the reward of the gun. What is that? The ornament for the gun, and it was exclusive because very few people got it. It was something for the PvP sweat lords to chase. It meant something to them. It didn't give any distinct advantage to anyone, and so forth, and it was great. And I think for the base level, I think the quest for the Redrix broadsword was perfect for the average gamer. They're never going to be able to attain that ornament for it though, and they never should be. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to put if you want the ornament, you got to put the work in. And I think that would be a great stopgap, at least for the time being. But because you do not want to create more adept weapons for the sweat lords to have first. And they'll have abundance of them, and there'll be an imbalance in the community as far as weapons. But maybe ornaments could be that future, or something. Ornaments or a special piece of set of armor or something cool. Hmm? No, no, no. I'm talking strictly cosmetic. Nothing. No, not an actual set of armor. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember those. And yeah, I just don't like. I want the PvP guys to eat, but I don't want them to be. I don't want to overfill them. They already are good. They've had so much time playing what little Bungie has given them to get good at the game that when trials came, initially it was well no, I'm sorry. Last seat when trials first came back, I only played trials when the Igneous Hammer was there and we were jumping off the map, basically. Because it was faster than going in there and sweating through losing over and over again. Yes, it was. Yeah, yeah, you got absolutely nothing for losing or winning until you hit certain thresholds back then. Yes, so yeah, it was rough. Igneous Hammer's gonna probably go at least for the time being. It's gonna be a beast for a while. I don't. I know that the streamers said that 120 suck right now, but I mean, have you used it? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it still has insane range. Yeah. So and they just think they nerfed that. It was more before. But I don't know, man. I really think Trials is in a good place. I think that's wonderful. I really want them to give me a rework to Iron Banner. Because I really want to be able to target farm what I want, opposed to just rolling the slot machine and getting, 3 legs. And for the love of God, Bungie, get these cloaks and class items out of the game for drops after the first week. We get it. Come on, man. Like, how many class items do you really need to drop all season? Yeah. Aren't they changing power leveling? Maybe have you heard anything either? Did we lose AB? Yeah. Um how do you feel about the light leveling? Have you heard about any changes coming to it? Oh god. Right. Where'd you get it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, mm, oh my god. Jeez. Bro, that is the worst bro. Huh? What happened? I was gonna say, bro, good lord. Jesus. Oh. I absolutely. That's the only part about expansions I hate, bro. I absolutely hate that 50 power grind because I feel like we're going back to do the same old things. Then, if you want to maximize your time to be able to get into the raid, when it drops, you need to play all three characters, run all pinnacles, rotate weapons, grab it over, only do these, do your pinnacles in a certain order. Oh, God, I hate that. uh, it's. Hmm. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, I got it, bro. Imagine if stasis when we launched, we got the stasis base, no grenades, and it say at season pass level 5 we get grenades, and at season pass level. But I'm just hypothetically with this. Like, what if it was a level, and each level at certain levels you had those things that drop there as a as you progress forward. Oh my god, bro. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it doesn't. You're right. That yeah, I forgot. The throwaway is a thing, and people are AFK in that. Never mind. I don't know, but how do you make it? I I think since Destiny introduced the light level system, I've always been puzzled. Because I mean, when I started the game on Destiny 1, we had levels, so you want slot leveling. Gotcha.
exotic cipher for Zur when he comes around, right? Something that keeps the players like the carrot on the hook, but not necessarily game breaking or like overpowered in a way.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Or maybe going back to like the tiling and guilds, tie it into that, but I'm
Don't,
not sure.
don't. I mean,
Oh,
I don't know. I think Destiny 2 when it launched, from my perspective, it was the base story was a bit over the top, but I did like how there was a sense of progression when you did your quest or whatever, as far as playing the story
huh?
and getting, because you didn't get all your supers initially. Remember, you lost your light, you had to get your light back and all this other stuff. We got that back a little too fast, but I did
Hello?
like. Hello.
Hello?
Oh, hang on.
Uh oh.
Uh-oh.
Did we lose AB?
He's still in here. I think he might have lost us.
Oh. Let's see. All right. Well, let me carry you on because we about to wrap it shortly anyway. Um, I liked how it progressed into you getting your powers and there being a mission to explain a little backstory about your powers and so forth. Now, man, granted, they could have been done better. They wasn't the best missions and so forth, but it was something. You just didn't get a power because hit this level, and the quest was very simple to get the super, and you got the super, and from going to EDZ in a cave for whatever reason, and you get to touch the shard of light. Got the super, you used it. It was amazing. Ooh, I got arc. Ooh, I got solar. Ooh, I got void, and whatever. We don't get that anymore. Everything's kind of given to
They
you, and
won't
you're like,
collect
okay,
any
well,
intel
now I
here.
got void.
The
Now I
Vault
got stasis.
Intelligence
Now I got this.
Operations?
I would
What
love
a
to see that something like that
paradox.
come back.
Well, that's where the builds come in, though. Like, that's, I think, why they supplemented that, is so that people can actually dive into the builds and the perk diversity.
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll see with crafting how that expands.
Speaking of which, I think that was something I want to do. I don't play Warlock because I can't do the jump. I don't know how you guys do that or whatever. But I was thinking maybe a section or something, maybe a weekly video series or whatever on building, how to build, what building is, how it's helpful, how it's useful. Because there's so many things on YouTube, right? About get this build now, must get this build, best build, PVE build, blah blah blah. And there's not one video explaining why building is beneficial or
Well, that's
building
just kind
101.
of all MMOs, though. I don't think that's a Destiny thing. Well, maybe in the sense of like Destiny's a little splintered, and so people don't understand exactly how Bungie wants Destiny to operate in that sense, but that's
Hmm.
kind of just always basic MMO. Builds are just putting things together that you find either work or
We've
enjoyable.
smashed
There's
all
not
points.
really,
They'll have a
which
hard
is
time
why like it
settling
then
this.
comes down to Bungie, which like how did they want to have it as a video game?
All right, AB says he's back. Let me get him in here. Hold on, AB, let me pull you in. Um, Hopefully we don't lose service because I've been alt tabbing like crazy. What happened? Did y'all lose me? Shadow, can you
What's
hear?
up?
Okay, yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. All right, AB, you back?
Yep. All right. What I miss?
Just me going over. So what I was saying was, I like the sense. It wasn't the best too. We start with that. It wasn't the best, but like when you got your powers in Destiny 2 vanilla during the campaign, there was that little
Mm-hmm.
piece of quest where you went into the EDZ and you had to kill enemies and you had little backstory, like little figures that spoke to you about
Vibrations of the
about
substrate
the
are
story is
consistent
about
with an
no
explosively
about your
destructive
element
event.
subclass, and
Can you
it led to you
Mm-hmm.
confirm?
getting your power, and again, it
Explosive
wasn't the
destruction
best
sounds pretty
structure for it,
accurate to me.
but it was much better than saying,
Appreciate the
"Oh, you hit
incoming,
level
Captain.
15, here you've unlocked stasis, or you've unlocked that." Like that. And then from there, I got into a conversation. I went to AB and said maybe I was wondering if you guys are Warlock gurus, thought about maybe putting a
I
building 101 together.
I think so. Let me add on to that a little
Go
bit.
for it.
So
Go for it.
I think the initial unlock of stasis was actually good.
Okay. Of
I think the way they handled aspects, fragments,
course.
and the grenades was terrible.
Yeah.
Um, so don't
Mm.
sh- short way to put it, don't lock stuff behind like specific quests. Like you can have it in like a story mission as like a lore piece on like how you get your abilities and stuff,
Yeah.
but don't don't like super hard lagging behind something that's like super grindy.
Right.
That's a pain. Like that I understand that that's been a thing in other MMOs and stuff where like there's either like a secret quest. Oh, okay, so one game I used to play is called Tree of Savior. So to unlock the Shinobi, which is like a little ninja thing that can clone itself and all your abilities copy themselves for every clone you have. It was amazing. I
Wow.
love that build so much. And to unlock that quest, I had to sit in one spot for 4 hours waiting on a flower to spawn.
What?
Yep. It had a chance. It had 3 chances per day to spawn, and it was a chance.
Wow.
Oh my God, 3. A chance. Whew.
And there was like 4 spots you'd go check, and that was it. And that's all I did for like 4 to 6 hours for like 3 days to unlock that quest.
Jeez.
Never, ever do that in any game ever again.
Okay. Well, you just pretty much knocked on. You just pretty much explained stasis in the aspect of fragment quest. And
Yeah.
and to add to that, when they were new, they were weekly locked out too. You could only do one at a time.
Yeah.
You can still only
Time
do 2 per
gating
week.
is.
Yes. Oh.
Can you? Oh shit! I
Yeah.
Yeah,
thought
the
you could do
aspects,
more.
the fragments you can only do 2 per week.
Yes, bro.
I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The
Oh
fragments,
no.
the fragments, yes. The aspects, if you unlock them on any other people on their account, you're good. They'll give them all to you at the end, not before then. You have to do everything else first. Oh,
Yep. Still gotta do all the grenades.
yeah. Oh, you talking about anyway? So,
What you talking about?
I still don't have all the grenades on my hunter or my titan.
oh,
Yeah,
bro, the
that's it
Titan is
for.
the Titan is the
Yep.
absolute worst for those quests, bro. The shatter
No, they got
damage.
rid of the grenade quest. I thought now you don't have to do them anymore after your first character.
No, they're still there. No, they're still there.
Oh, they are.
Yes. Oh,
I
yes.
Is it
don't.
just the aspect and fragments? And I know one of them you don't have to do
The
anymore. They
aspects,
changed.
the aspects are the ones. Yeah, the aspects you don't have to do. The fragments.
Okay,
Yeah, you got. And
that's what it is then.
bro, shatter
I thought.
damage.
Okay.
Oof, oof. Shatter damage is crazy. A hunter has the hunter has it the absolute best when it comes to the stasis quest because their super and their melee ability just work hand in hand, make it really really easy. What's good, Jay Frosh? Man, I ain't seen you in forever, bro. Appreciate the sub, brother. How you doing? Uh, Jay Frost, another content creator. This he in the keyboard world, but he a Titan main. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different, a little love in the
Yeah.
Titans. But so I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, I love what the game is. I've been playing this for quite a while. I think it's an amazing game. Hell, I've been playing it for 7 years. Gotta be something. And I love the ideas and there's so much we could add to the community as people. What I would ask to anyone watching, tell somebody, bro. Yo, let's just train people to have fun. Let's get out of this I'm the best bullshit. There is no best. Because if I'm the only one winning and no one's watching, how worthy is that? So I really want to get out of that and get into helping. My man just did a raid, Sherpa, where he carried 5 people through a raid. Why can't that be highlighted as a YouTube video? Why can't that be a Reddit post that's blown up? There should be more credit for guys doing positive in this game than negative because it's a great community. Well, I've met great people in the community.
Yeah, but positivity doesn't breed
Clicks.
like yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No one wants to see it. That's why, like I said earlier, I think the PvP, or that's I think maybe why the PvP people think they carry Destinies, because people will always fall back on PvP clips, whereas like PvE, yeah, you don't see high view videos or trending videos of like Raid Sherpa or whatever, because people don't care about watching other people experience raids for the first time versus a quick headshot snipe and
Yeah,
control.
I get you on that. I don't know. I mean, like I don't enjoy PvP video clips. Sorry, I just don't. But then again, I'm biased. I'm PvE main. You know, I got in there. I played PvP on PC the first time with Frosh. I think Frosh was the one who took me in there, bro. It is insane when you're coming from controller to playing with people who have been mouse and keyboard for long periods of time. Bro, I literally didn't
Yeah.
get to shoot anything. They were just running around killing everything. Oh, hold on, Frost.
Yep.
Oh wait, I tried to take 5 people who have never been through Deep Stone before. How'd that end up, bro? Now, granted, when you're taking 5 people who've never done that raid, you kind of go into expecting at least 5 hours. You know what I mean? It might be less, but you kind of just prepare yourself for it to be a while.
I'd say on average a full group of new learners is about somewhere between 3 to 5. Yeah, for any
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I mean, I don't know. The reward is in that. Like for instance, I still want the emblem. I think AB. I know AB has. It's the emblem for Deep Stone, not Deep Stone, but Vogue.
Well,
Yeah,
teaching 10 people.
yeah, I want that
Yeah.
emblem, and I think I'm at 6, so I definitely would try for that or whatever. But I really need to learn the Atheon encounter better. I think in the teams I was in, I think my issue was when we get teleported in. My issue is the damn crystal positions and reading. Oh my god, I'm trash at that. I am super trash. My call outs are absolute garbage. So I tend to grab the relic so I don't have to either get the
Yeah.
relic or protect. I'm not good at that at all. Hold on. Wait. We only did it for a little over an hour. It was late. Oh, okay. So you guys did. So you guys didn't get to finish. Okay, Frost. But there's nothing wrong with that, yo. There's nothing wrong with putting the pin in a raid and coming back later. You don't have to. You don't really have
Yeah,
to
there's
finish it.
there's there's somewhat of an art of teaching full teams. Like you have to, your own knowledge has to both like be on point, and you have to be able to explain it in a way where other people understand it. And that
Yeah. And
is
also won't take
that's
hours. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty hard. And sometimes you'll get some really uh you'll get some blueberries that don't the they don't get it no matter how you explain it.
Right.
And it like I don't know. There's just some people that aren't going to be ready for that kind of thing yet. And like maybe when that like either they get older or they start to like let things click in their head that they'll start getting it. But not everybody can do it. I mean, without being like carried or something. But not
Right.
not everyone can be taught, I guess. But
Right.
I mean, attempting is still pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. My man said one had no mic, one had no brain, 2 refused to switch from 2 primary weapon. Ooh.
Yeah, if you get people like that, that's just a leave. Like if I ever get people like that, I either kick them or I leave. There's
Mhm.
no point in trying to teach someone that doesn't want to be taught.
Right.
Sometimes you have to move on.
Yeah. Yep. It's gotta be a tough call though, bro. But I mean, how does it feel when you get the clear and everybody's hyped looking through the rewards or whatever though? After everyone's blueberry and you're the only teacher there, how does it feel, bro?
Oh, half the time you get oh sigh it's over, and half the time and half the time I think over the past couple of clears, past couple of days, I think I had one person get 1K. I think I had one person, or no, I've had two people get 1K, and one person get Vex, and those people flipped out, and everybody else was like,
Well, that's Destiny though, bro. That's Destiny at its core right there. Like, hey, yay! I hate this motherfucker over here.
Yeah.
Now,
But
now after we left the raid and like just got to talking in orbit, they were like, "Oh, hey, thanks, yeah, that was great." But
in the
but
moment,
in the moment, you're just like, "Oh man, I've been in here for 5 hours. I'm tired."
yes, I can
I'm done. I
imagine.
want to go to
Yeah.
sleep.
Look, bro, when I finally got eyes to drop, it had been so many runs I didn't even get excited. Like
Yep.
about fucking time.
Yeah, the same for my Vex drop. I got it on 33, I think,
Jesus.
and I was like at that point, if I didn't get Vex that week, I wasn't getting the title that week either. So
Oh,
Yeah.
that was clutch then. Yes, man. Well, for eyes, it was the only thing that was holding me back from the title because I couldn't get it to drop, bro. 42 clears of Deep Stone before I got it.
yep,
I was
pretty
like,
good.
yeah, no. Meanwhile, my my good old friend Saint, 2 runs, 2 runs. He got vexed the second time we did it, and I was like, holy shit, bro. What is with your
Nice.
luck?
There's I think there's one person that I don't play with anymore, but
What up,
uh
bro?
they got back before Beyond Light. They got Teraba Teraba, 1K, and what was the other
Or Anarchy?
exotic at the time? Yeah, and Anarchy, all in their first runs.
Wow.
I have to tell you the story,
I
bro. Go ahead,
Oh man, I was so mad.
bro. Listen, bro. I, I can't talk too much shit because I got Anarchy and what's the sparrow? What's the sparrow called? The sparrow from the
No
raid.
time.
Yep,
No,
bro. I
I
got
keep saying no time to explain, but always on time.
okay. Oh yeah, I got those in two back-to-back raids. And promptly got kicked. The third one, like I think, was I got Anarchy. I got kicked. I was like, hey, it was a random LFG. The idea was to go through and we're gonna run it 3 times because everybody wanted Anarchy at that time. So I'm like, cool, I'll
Yep.
jump in. I'm gonna bring my Hunter, my Titan. So I ran with the Hunter and we got through the race and I was like, yo, I got it. And he's like, what'd you get? I was like, I got an exotic sparrow. The fuck? This is trash. Nah, that's the raid sparrow. Oh shit, that's not like what? So I was like, okay, cool. We ran through the whole raid. We blew the joint up. Went to the end. I got some boots. I'm like, okay, let's run it again. Nobody got anarchy. Nobody got anarchy. So the next run, nobody got anything from the made from the race at all. We killed the boss. Everybody's going through their loot, and I see this weird looking gun, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, what's the exotic for this again? And they said anarchy. I was like, anarchy. So what is anarchy? What does that do? And I was just being an ass. Like, what does that do? And he's like, yeah. Anybody get it? And I was like, nah, I didn't get shit. I got a sniper. So I just immediately, yo. So I got the anarchy. What the fuck, dude? No, fuck him, bro. I'm like, yo, before you knew it,
Oh
yeah, I got
no.
kicked from the party.
No.
I was like, yo.
Damn.
And that was the last time I got that kind of luck ever. I think I ran that raid twice. That was it. And then both times I got to drop both times. Since then, I still don't have 1K. I've done ribbon clears a ton. I got eyes. I got eyes, I believe, because my RNG changed. I made a Warlock, and the Warlock, on its first time doing the raid, got the drop.
Ah.
I tried that same strat with Vogue, didn't work.
Rip.
So I don't know. But you know what? I enjoy it. I like it. Please don't change it, Bungie, because it makes that one time when it does drop feel so damn good. It's so worthwhile, even if it takes 50 something runs. But gentlemen, I, I like running back and forth. It's entertaining. What? Anyway, Frost tripping. Guys, this has been amazing, but we have ran really, really long. I didn't know we'd be on this long. I enjoyed it. Um, if you could drop your socials and all your cool things and promote your channel or whatever at this point, maybe you stream.
Nope. I'm planning on it starting in Witch Queen.
Okay, cool. So
Nice.
awesome. So AB will join the ranks of us streamers or whatever. Shadow.
Yeah, I'm streaming currently at a random underscore shadow. You can find me Tuesday through Sunday about 7 p.m. EST-ish for about 6 to 8 hours. But yeah, I stream quite a lot. But just come hang out and chill. It's a good time. We got chill music and vibes and games.
Awesome.
More than just Destiny, but largely Destiny. But yeah.
Got you. Of course, you know who I am. I'm good old Evo Sen. I am not a regular streamer because I need to work on my scheduling skills. But I will be around more and popping in a lot of Destiny. And at least for November, we're gonna jump into some other games for a little bit, just for a little slight break on Destiny until we get the dungeon. And of course, when the dungeon comes back, we're going back to Destiny. Of course, Witch Queen's going down. I hope to have a joint stream going by then, but I don't know how Destiny's servers will be up, so I'm not sure if that's the thing. I am going to dabble my toes in some YouTube videos or whatever. Really look forward to that, and you've inspired me, AB. I'm really looking forward to making maybe a server or joining a server and making a server to help guys get stuff done and play the game. or whatever, a place where people can go and have conversations and discussions like we just had can happen in a place without feeling like somebody's an elitist or better than the other or whatever. Because I want to believe you guys represent the hardcore Destiny, and I represent hardcore casual, whether I want to or not. I play a lot, but I don't touch into the hardcore builds as much as I should, and I'm starting to learn that there's some huge advantages to it. As you've seen, Av, my armor selection was rather short-sighted. So I really like the back and forth. I would love to say we could do this again next week, but Destiny will not have enough content for us to talk